Well,
You sound what?
kind of fuzzy on your end. Your camera.
Fuzzy? Like
Yeah,
camera? Let me make sure.
yeah.
All right, we should be free. That should help, right? Is that better?
I think it's your green screen. I don't know.
Oh, okay. I might have to stop the green screen for a hot little second, maybe. I'll come back. But first of all, what's up? What's happening, everybody? You know, it's broadcast every Friday, 8 to 10 p.m. Talking about everything. Got my boy Seyi here. What's happening, Seyi?
What's up, everyone? What's up? Get
Yes,
ready to
sir.
get
Yes,
started.
sir.
Got my Kobe Bryant picture reinforced this time, so let's see if it can stay up. That's just what I see. If it can stay up for 2 hours.
Bet. You already know how this works. You know, we have a few topics that we're ready to discuss. If they let me pull it up, where did it go? Well, yeah, I'm working on pulling it up again. I don't know. It was just there. Now it's
I'm
gone. There we
I'm
go.
sorry. We run on CP time. I'm sorry. It was actually my fault this time. I'm trying to make sure this mic was in order. Couldn't get a signal, but now sound good.
Yeah, what's happening, everybody? Everybody that's already here, what's good? Here's a few topics we're gonna talk about. You know what I'm saying? Just some fun topics for today. There's a lot going on in the sports world, especially NBA, MLB, and NFL wise. We're actually starting to get somewhere, so we'll see how that goes. We'll see how long it lasts. But all right, so yeah, we're gonna stop and talk about this first topic. First of all, the essential business wrestling. All right, because Seyi brought this up to me recently, and I just wanted him to expound upon how that exactly works with the essential business, how wrestling is an essential business. I need you to break that down.
Well, this happened about like over a month ago. WWE was deemed an essential business by the state of Florida, so they could still have their shows. Um, you know, you got to get your groceries. You got to get your supplies to stay alive. You got to go outside, go to the park, just get some sunlight, vitamin D. That's good. You also got to watch wrestling. Wrestling is good for the brain, apparently. So I guess that's why wrestling was deemed an essential business. Vince McMahon, good friends with Donald Trump, good friends with the governor of Florida, apparently as well, to allow the WWE Performance Center to be deemed an essential business. And because they are an essential business, this is why we get Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown happening every week. And also pay-per-views as well. So, since they are still going on, and they apparently also allowed some fans to come in to their performance center this past weekend for their pay-per-view backlash. Since they allowed fans, one of them actually happened to have a little bit of the virus, the coronavirus. So since one person was tested, actually this was one of their trainees, but one person was one of their trainees had it. There was no telling if the fans didn't. The WWE didn't want the fans to wear a mask because apparently if they wore a mask, they weren't deemed a fan. That's what the producer Kevin Dunn said. If they wore a mask, they weren't deemed wrestling fans. They weren't deemed WWE fans. So no one wore a mask. So one person got tested to have the virus. After that, it became a trickling down effect. There was a WWE personality, Renee Young. She got the virus. Some wrestlers, like Austin Theory, for example, apparently got the virus as well. So it's just trickling down. A lot of people got the virus every week, but it's an essential business, so they must go on, right?
I guess so. No, now the thing I want to talk about first is that you said trainees.
Yeah. So WWE, there's a lot of wrestlers. You also got to train to be a wrestler too, just like how they have the G League and the NBA, the minor leagues in baseball. They got the Performance Center. So if any want-to-be wrestlers, I say, if I want to be a wrestler, try to sign up for the Performance Center and train. So since they can't bring fans, well, at least they weren't supposed to. They did anyways. But they used most of their trainees as fans for the fans in the crowd, so they could give a reaction to the wrestlers, so they could cheer or boo at Vince McMahon's command. And one of the trainees happened to have the coronavirus. Fun fact, one of the trainees was actually The Rock's daughter. So The Rock's daughter is there as well. Who knows if she has the virus?
That sounds like actually a pretty important job. That's so crazy.
Oh, you have to be a fan in the crowd? Hey, I'll
Yeah,
Google it.
it's a lot going on. It's a lot going on with whatever that has going on.
Yeah,
That is
so
crazy.
it's been a dumpster fire right now. There's also been a lot of sexual harassment cases that I feel like we shouldn't get into right now until there's
Mm-hmm.
more news to come out. But
Mm-hmm.
right now, the big news with the WWE is just all these CV cases, just like in the company, and it makes you wonder how long can they keep doing this? Can they keep being on TV? Since they are an essential business, they must go on. I get it. The reason why Vince McMahon wanted WWE to be an essential business is because the XFL went out of business. And since the XFL went out of business, Vince McMahon lost millions of dollars. So the WWE is his only way to get his money back. And even still, he's losing money because he can't have fans and seats. So I mean, it's been a big problem. Um, there's another company, AEW, that also, I guess, since they wrestle in Florida as well, they're deemed an essential business. They're owned by the Khans. The Khans also own the Jacksonville Jaguars, so they have enough money to stay afloat. But they have to be on TV every week because they got to deal with TNT. And TNT, I guess, states that if they're not able to be on TV every week, they're going to go out of business since they just started as a wrestling business. So they have to be on TV every week. Might be the same thing with WWE as well, but with all these cases going up, I just don't know how to keep doing it. But apparently the WWE actually hasn't tested anybody. They haven't tested anybody till now. After they found one trainee with the virus, that's when they started testing everybody. So who knows? They probably had wrestlers and personalities with the virus for weeks already, but they haven't tested everyone. All they did was just check the people's temperatures. They checked the wrestlers' temperatures before they came in. But if you're a company like that, you gotta test, especially all the money you have. This is not going.
They should have started off testing.
Yeah,
They should have tested from the beginning. It's not like coronavirus just came out of nowhere.
Yeah, exactly. AEW apparently has been testing everybody, the other wrestling company, but WWE hasn't tested anyone at all until now. And they already have a wrestler who is a cancer survivor in Roman Reigns, who hasn't showed up. Well, one, because he got a set of twins, but also I think he's just playing it safe. He doesn't want to put himself at risk. And apparently with the news right now, for good reason.
Hey, smart. Especially if he knew that they weren't testing people in the beginning. I don't understand why they weren't doing that.
Hey, I wouldn't do that either if I was him. Like, I don't blame him. His immune system's already compromised. I'm not going to take that risk.
Exactly. If I heard that they weren't testing people at my place of employment, especially a place that requires you to touch people all of the time, it's wrestling. It's not even like you're working an office job and you can keep your distance. The exact point of your employment is to touch other people. So there's just no way that I would have been going to work, especially for the WWE that wasn't testing people. That's dead.
Well, all the money they'll be paying me, then I probably would like, you know what?
You would have risked it.
I could survive. But if I was someone with a compromised immune system, I definitely want to go. Not at all.
That boy Seyi willing to risk it, boy.
For all the money they get paid? Of course I would.
I feel you. I mean, when you're a top-notch athlete, you're pretty straight. It's just the people around you that you might take it to that's a problem. That's the only thing.
If I was in their situation, I'll just live in a bubble until this ends. I'm like, all the money I'm getting paid just to show up. I'll do it. If I was a trainee, I know they don't get paid that much. If I was a trainee, then probably not. But if I was an actual legit wrestler, then I'll do it. And yeah, Vince is a scumbag. Like, let's admit, Vince is a scumbag. But at this point, he's pretty much untouchable. He is pretty much untouchable. All the sexual harassment cases too, and he had some dating back to the 80s. No one brought that up yet. He thinks he's untouchable. That's the problem. So he thinks He thinks he's God himself. And because he thinks he's God himself, that's why he think he can survive the coronavirus and all his wrestlers can survive the coronavirus. And he thinks this is all bogus. So this is why he got his business essential. And this is why he thinks he can still have shows and the wrestlers will be unaffected.
This is all just a mess. I mean, WWE is just out of control for all of this. They are absolutely out of control for not only the way they handle things, but just how their employees are acting. Like you said, with everything you just said. So WWE, you got to get it together. You got to get it together. You need to go ahead and get your PR right, because your PR is terrible right now. Your public relations needs a lot of improvement.
Oh yeah, their public relations have been terrible. And yeah, I did forget to mention Dora Gunner. Yeah, Vince's wife does work for the Trump section, Linda McMahon. So that's a tie right there. WWE
has too much going on right now, way too much. I didn't even think about the fact that they would be affected by coronavirus. I just completely forgot that like WWE was like going, honestly. So that's pretty wild that people, why weren't they testing people in the beginning? Like, you knew, it's not like they were doing it and then coronavirus caught them off guard. Like, coronavirus has been a thing for months. I'm just very confused as to why they didn't already have the right processes.
Because Vince thinks he's untouchable. Vince McMahon thinks he's untouchable. There's a story that also goes out too that Vince McMahon hates coughing. Like, he absolutely hates coughing because it's something he cannot control. He thinks he can control everything, so he absolutely hates coughing. There was a story that says when he coughs, that he just shuts everybody out, and he just becomes angry at everyone when he coughs. And he can't talk to them anymore.
I can mildly understand that. Not to the extent he does, but I understand being annoyed with things you can't control. I definitely understand it. Even if it is a cough, it makes you feel less control of yourself and less powerful. I super understand that, just nowhere near to the extent that he's talking about.
Yeah, and Dora Gunner, they're not making money for not having house shows. They're saving money from not having house shows. They had poor attendance because house shows were pretty uneventful, and they had so many house shows that just got oversaturated with time. So they're saving money, but they are still losing money.
Wait, so what is a house show exactly?
A house show, it's sort of like artists going on tour for a concert. So they have their TV shows that they have with Raw, SmackDown, and NXT, but a house show is like them going on tour. So they'll go on tour to like whatever city, whatever state, and they'll just have the show there. The show is untelevised. The show is not canon. Like, the stories are not canon. So they'll use that to experiment with different storylines to see how the crowd reacts. They'll use it before, at a time, it used to make them money. But I guess, I know with house show, I went to a house show before. It was fun. But since when they have house shows, they have it so much. It's just like some people just don't even know where they have house shows in the city.
It's hard to keep up with the schedule.
Exactly. And since it's not a televised show, some people think it's uneventful. So it's like, why show up? So WWE spends money putting that set together, getting the wrestlers to come out. Just everything with it. They weren't making as much money as intended. And also, some of the wrestlers were getting hurt just because of that schedule. Since you're wrestling like almost 7 days a week, like at least like 4 or 5 days a week. So it was just getting grueling on the wrestlers' bodies. So some of their big stars got hurt from house shows. So house shows just weren't beneficial.
Do they have that as an option in the wrestling manager game you play, the Canadian one or whatever you?
Oh yeah. TW 2020. Yeah, they actually do have that option, but you don't actually control the house shows. You just let it simulate and just use it to experiment to see which wrestlers have good chemistry with each other, so you can use them on the show. Pretty much how they do it in real life, I guess.
So you can implement house shows if you want to.
Oh no, you can implement house shows. You're just not going to control them. Like the book, you're not going to control it. But you use house shows it simulates by itself, but you use house shows to experiment to see which wrestlers have chemistry with each other, which ones have bad chemistry with each other. So you can use that on the show if they do have good chemistry, or if they have bad chemistry, just don't put them together. So same reason why companies use house shows in real life, that and also to make extra money, which in the game it makes you money too. So yeah, that's the reason for a house show.
I was about to say, do you use them? Are you out here using them?
I use them, but I only had one wrestler in my game actually get hurt, and it was just like a sprained ankle, so it wasn't anything. It was just out for a week. That was it.
Did they at least tell you how he sprained his ankle, even though they don't show you? Is there like he did this, and then this is what happened, and that?
It'll just say wrestler A sprained his ankle in the house show. Oh, yeah. Pretty funny. And Dory Gunner, definitely laying out facts right here. He was talking about the making record profit now because of this. Well, they were making record profits because of that. But, with the coronavirus, you're not able to travel to Saudi Arabia to make money now. So that's also a big problem. So WWE also travels to Saudi Arabia. I say this has been going on for about 3-4 years now. And that. It's not like their new WrestleMania because they make so much money going to Saudi Arabia.
Saudi Arabia is rich, man.
Yeah, Saudi fans there still believe that Undertaker, Triple H, and Shawn Michaels are still the top stars in the WWE, even though they're has-beens now. They haven't, well, aside from Undertaker, haven't been really relevant for like 10 years. So just retired. I say that in quotation marks. I believe it when I see it. So like wrestlers like The Undertaker, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, and even Goldberg will go to Saudi Arabia. They'll make loads of money. The matches are usually bad. Like I can't watch these matches at all. The matches are usually horrible, but they just go there just to make money. It's their giant cash cow. It even went there during the year where there was like that certain U.S. reporter that went missing, and Vince McMahon was risking having huge backlash in WWE for still going to Saudi Arabia during those times. But hey, the money
money is money.
Exactly.
Money is money.
Oh yeah, they also brought over Hulk Hogan. And Hulk Hogan's like 90 years old right now. So that just explains to you what these shows are. And also in Saudi Arabia, having women wrestle is pretty taboo there. You're not allowed to. You're not allowed to have women wrestle. So it was like for like 3 straight.
Yeah, culture. That makes a lot of sense.
Exactly. So it was like for 3 straight years they didn't bring the women with them, which WWE was a company trying to promote the women's revolution. So it was kind of as backwards that it didn't bring the women with them. Understandable, but the recent years they brought women, but they had to make sure like all their skin was covered in clothes, like their hair, faces, arms, everything was covered.
That's crazy. You never really think about how how different customs and cultures and things can affect little things like that, like something like WWE. And do you know how that started? Like, what made them be like, you know what, Saudi Arabia, that might be a great idea. Like, is there like a backstory to that? Like, did Saudi Arabia be like, ooh, we like this, can y'all bring this to us? Or did like WWE reach out? Like, how does that start? And what's up, Rich?
Yeah, and Dory Gunner, the journalist was murdered in the embassy. Yeah, so the journalist was murdered. The U.S. journalist was murdered. So how it started, I believe it was a Saudi prince. He offered this man like an outrageous amount of money. I think it was in the billions of dollars to come to Saudi Arabia so they could have a show. And I believe like my mind is funny on the name of it. Was it called like something like Showdown? I forgot what it was called, but it was like they treated it more important than WrestleMania now because they were making so much money off these Saudi shows. It was like they were making blood money because the money just didn't feel clean. They just came there and had all their shows, bring all their old has-beens. And yeah, so I believe it was like an outrageous amount of money. So they came there to have their shows. And yeah, from a Thorgun, and Thorgun's just been out fast. Yeah, just wanted to expand their brand. The king wanted them to expand their brand. So
That is
bring
wild.
WWE to Saudi Arabia.
That is wild that WWE even has all of this controversy and just evil doings in the background.
This is just the tip of the iceberg if you want to talk about controversy. If you want to know about controversy, watch Dark Side of the Ring, and you'll see controversy. You can see how Vince McMahon hid a murder from one of the wrestlers. One of the wrestlers murdered his ex-wife, Jimmy Snuka. And how Vince McMahon co-conspired in sweeping that under the rug with a police chief. There is a lot of things. You know about this certain Chris Bennett? Yeah, Super Showdown. That was the name, Super Showdown. Yeah, Ultimate Super Showdown. That was the Saudi Arabia name. But Chris Benoit, that's a touchy name. They go over that issue. You know how CTE is such a big thing in the NFL? I feel like CTE was more prevalent in WWE than anything. It was a little bit more underreported because no one talked about the WWE in that light. A lot of the wrestlers, a lot of past wrestlers from the 90s, 80s, from the moves they were doing, had severe brain damage. Chris Benoit being one of them. Not saying that was the reason that he committed that murder-suicide, because after watching that Dark Side of the Ring documentary, he killed his wife and kid over the span of 2 days, so which means it was premeditated and calculated, so it can't just be only CTE. But I still think that definitely played a factor. And there's a lot of wrestlers who suffered it too. A lot of wrestlers who died in the past who I believe had CTE. Also a lot of steroid abuse in the WWE. But because the WWE wasn't as scrutinized as, say, like other sports such as the MLB, the NFL, it kind of went under the rug. They're cleaning it up now because it's since WWE's becoming is in more of a national spotlight now today than it was back in the 90s. They've cleaned it up now, but in the 90s and 80s it was crazy. In early 2000s, it was crazy.
That is ridiculous. All of that controversy behind such a happy show. It's so happy. It's such a happy atmosphere when they have the showdowns and everything. That's crazy that all that is going on.
Happy atmosphere. You must have not watched it recently. It's hard to watch sometimes for me. I don't even watch SmackDown. That's why I agreed to do this podcast over watching SmackDown. SmackDown's going on right now.
I had no idea. You can already tell. But yeah, that's wild. Just to summarize, that whole wrestling situation is crazy. And the fact that they finessed it to be an essential business just lets you know how much money talks. But topic number two, the NBA coronavirus test results. Did you know that we actually have some test results, Seyi?
Oh yeah, I saw some news. A lot.
Yeah, they said 16 out of 302 NBA players test positive for coronavirus.
You know what? That's 16 too much. If I'm like, I don't know, I'm good.
That is a 5.3% test rate. Positive test rate. That is wild. That's actually pretty serious.
And you know what? You can test negative for COVID the first time, but you can test positive the next time. So who knows? If they do a second test, they'll probably get more people.
Oh, that's wild. I didn't even know that. So at the very least, they have 16 people. It may be more.
Exactly.
They need to quarantine that person along with the people they've all been around. They said that any player who tested positive will remain in self-isolation until he satisfies the public health protocols for discontinuing isolation, and he will have to be cleared by a physician. So like once you test positive, you're on lockdown and you got to earn your way out, basically.
That's all talk. They say that now, but for a player like Nikola Jokic, you're going to get him to play. They always said they're going to get him to play because Nikola Jokic was one of the players that tested positive, and they said, "Oh, he should be good by the time the NBA starts back up again." I don't believe that at all. Probably for the smaller players, they're going to be like, okay, like, yeah, they can sit out. But for Nikola Jokic, they're going to get him in. Avery Bradley, he's gone. He's not going to do it because he got it.
Oh yeah. And just to let you know, some of the players that were included in that 16 were Malcolm Brogdon of Indiana.
Oh yeah, he was in Atlanta protesting. Kind of
Oh
happy
yeah.
now I didn't go to the protest. Yeah, I got to admit, I'm kind of happy I didn't go to any protesting. if I saw him there and I knew he got COVID, I've been scared.
Looking back now, if you were close to him. And then Jabari Parker and Alex Lynn of the Kings. I forgot Jabari Parker was on the Kings. That's wild. And Alex Lynn. I forgot he was on the Kings too.
And you know that Jabari Parker and Alex Lynn were on the Hawks like the beginning of that season.
Oh, so that's wild. That's wild. That's wild.
I saw a comment that said it was Jabari Parker. It's the only positive thing that happened in Jabari Parker's career.
Haters. Yeah. That is some super hate. Jabari Parker was supposed to be so great. That's amazing how that's like turned out. I mean, injuries and all of that, it always derails people's careers.
Do you know what high school? Do you know what high school it came out of too? I'm
assuming McEachern. I just
no. He's from Chicago. He's from Chicago.
Oh, okay.
Simeon High School, same high school as Derrick Rose. It's a curse. It's a curse. He was supposed to be
in that high school lunch. What it is? Is it the high school lunch? Is that what it is?
I really don't know. But yeah, he was supposed to be like a second coming of Carmelo Anthony. He was a bona fide scorer, even coming into his rookie year, but just injuries just killed his career. Him and Giannis and Chris Middleton were supposed to be that big three.
Yeah. That would have been a nice young talent big three. That's crazy how things work out.
He's supposed to be a 25 a game scorer right now. Yeah.
Yeah. Injuries suck, man. It's so many careers we've lost to injuries. We never got to see their true potential, or we only got flashes due to injuries. So yeah, man, I hate injuries. I wish it didn't have to be this way. I really do. But the NBA season is scheduled to resume July 30th with 22 teams, and it will all happen in Orlando, Florida. Now, we're not exactly sure how this is all set up. Like, is everybody going to be in one hotel? Are the different teams going to be in separate hotels? And then, like, there's so many like background issues that come with this, with everybody being forced to be in the same hotels. Like, they're going to be bored out of their minds. They're going to be forced to be around only their teammates for months straight. Like, they probably will play cards together. I think they're going to provide ping pong tables and stuff like that. But imagine making it all the way to the finals. You've been quarantined in this hotel in Orlando, away from your family, away from your friends and everything for months. And you make it to the finals not just to not win. That has to be the worst feeling ever. You're better off going in the first round.
Lose at game 7. Lose game 7.
Oh, game 7. Lose game. Oh, yeah, they're going to be playing their hearts out if the finals go to game 7. It's going to be blood, sweat, and tears. Oh, no, not the sign, Shay. Not the sign.
Yo, you saw how much tape I put in this? Like, how is it falling? Oh, my God. How is it falling? Look at all this tape, right? Look at all that tape. Why is it still falling? It needs to be the Pro too. I don't know. Yeah, I'm sorry, Kobe. I'm really sorry. I'm trying to do good right. I'm really sorry.
At this point, it's like a recurring thing for the stream that it's like people probably expecting it'll be weird if it don't happen. If it doesn't happen.
There was 2 shows where it didn't happen, but it's like two straight episodes in a row. My picture keep falling. Okay. I might finally get a frame now.
Lisa that was leaning sometimes too. That's what I was talking about.
I might finally get a frame. Oh, shouts out to Mona Lisa as well. I don't know if I can put. Yeah, I can't put both in a picture, but yeah, it just doesn't work. I don't know.
They're mad at you in the comment too.
I know. I'm sorry, Kobe. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to disrespect the GOAT. I'm sorry.
Sorry. You should probably use a thumbtack. Just put it in the wall. I mean, that might damage it. Well, just put it in the tape part. That way you don't damage the picture.
When you're paying rent,
yeah,
for an apartment that you're going to lease because your lease is up at the end of July, I don't know if I want to do that. That's why I've been putting cheap tape.
I can't be mad at it. I understand.
But yeah, I shouldn't do that to the GOAT, Kobe. Kobe, I wouldn't do that to you anymore. Next time, when I put you on there, I'll buy a little bit more expensive tape, or I'll get a frame. I'll get some more tape. A frame's a little bit expensive, but
something you
I'll make
gotta
sure
do right by Kobe
this time.
But you got to do right by Kobe. But yeah, man, this is wild that it looks like the NBA season is like for sure coming back. A lot of players have already said they don't want to come back though. There's already some players that have been like, nah, I'm good. Like Avery Bradley, which is why the
LeBron James teammate.
You say what?
LeBron James teammate, just to put that out there, you know, a 3-and-D guy.
They said
both sides of the floor.
They said they may try to get. They said they may try to go get J.R. Smith.
The Henny guy.
That's not the same.
The Henny guy, yes. Go try to get J.R. Smith. So you had Avery Bradley, but you're replacing with J.R. Smith. Yeah, that's not gonna be a good replacement.
Just shenanigans. I just can't see J.R. Smith not getting bored. He's one of the main people I see acting up from being in that quarantine for too long.
You telling J.R. Smith to be in Orlando? Wasn't there a report that he didn't want to get traded to Cleveland Cavaliers originally when he was on the New York Knicks? He just didn't want to be in Cleveland. He didn't even care about the fact that he couldn't win the championship with LeBron. He just didn't want to be bored. Cleveland.
I fully understand. I agree wholeheartedly. I don't want to go to certain places because I'd be bored. My tolerance for boredom and slow activity is just. I fully understand J.R. Smith, but hey, I'm not in the NBA, so I hope he knows what he's getting himself into if he signs a contract to go with the Lakers.
Yeah, I hope so.
You better get a PlayStation or an Xbox and start streaming. I feel like that's the best way to pass the time for everybody.
I feel like we're gonna get
basketball, stream on the gaming system. That's what I feel like you can do. That's the best option.
I feel like we're gonna get another LeBron James, J.R. Smith meme if that happens.
Yeah, honestly, I could see a gaming console would be a good distraction, but at the same time, I could see it being where somebody like J.R. Smith is like, man, hold on, one more game, and then he's late to practice and stuff like that. I can see a whole lot of problems arising from that.
Yeah, you're just talking about off the court. I'm worried about on the floor too. I'm seeing a lot of problems with that as well.
Yeah, he's definitely getting older and older. He used to have great defense, but he's even a shenanigan creator, even on the floor, not just off the floor. I mean, you remember the famous thing that happened against Golden State recently in the finals, where that blunder that cost them the entire game.
Not just defense. He used to be a bona fide scorer, like 20 a game. At least can give you 20 a game on any given night scorer. At times, he used to be unguardable. But the J.R. Smith I've seen towards the latter end of that Cleveland Cavaliers run, that J.R. Smith is not a starting caliber player, barely even a backup caliber player. If you really want me to be honest with you, so hopefully this hiatus for him, because he had a longer hiatus than most players, so hopefully it done him well. But I don't know. Maybe even Deion Waiters is a better signing than this, and I'm not really on Deion Waiters either.
I agree.
He was a dunker too. Yeah, he was a very underrated dunker, and he was one of the smart dunkers who actually changed his game up before the game changed him. And that he stopped dunking as much and just started focusing on his three-point shot. While players like Vince Carter, who unfortunately retired, and unfortunately these circumstances, and Tracy McGrady, the game changed them more because they had to get multiple injuries before they had to change their game up.
Yeah, start working on the three-point shot. It's definitely better to get ahead of the curve and work on your three-point shot sooner. Because, I mean, really, honestly, if you don't know the Duncan J.R. Smith, you think he was just a three-point shooter, especially if you play 2K. That's like the main reason you would use him in my team is for three-point shooting.
Yo, if you've seen even New Orleans Hornets J.R. Smith, he could get up. At that time, he couldn't do anything else but dunk, but he could get up. That was fresh from high school J.R. Smith.
And that Nuggets J.R. Smith, boy, that one dunk on I think it was Gary Neal, I believe, but somebody on the Spurs. That dunk is wild. That is one of the funniest dunks. I rate dunks by how funny they are.
Yeah,
And that is
somebody
one of
highlight
the
dunk for me.
funniest dunks ever. One of the most disrespectful.
Most disrespectful dunk that I've ever seen was a D Wade dunk on Anderson Varejao. Now
Oh
that was the most
man.
disrespectful dunk. That got me out my seat, literally. I had to rewind that back like 5 times after I saw that. I watched that live too.
Scottie Pippen on Patrick Ewing was really bad too.
Oh yeah, that as well.
those are some of the funniest dunks ever, bro. Oh my lord, so disrespectful, hilarious.
And funniest dunk, well, with the D Wade dunk is also the Vince Carter and Frederick Weiss dunk. Because you know this story on Frederick Weiss, he was drafted by the Knicks as a top 10 pick. I believe it was number 7, but it was a top 10 pick. But after he got dunked on like that, he
dunked over.
Yeah, dunked over. Yeah, my bad. Dunked over. he didn't go to the NBA because he literally said, quote, he thought all players were like Vince Carter.
Man gave up on all his hopes, dreams, money, career, everything. He could have had generational wealth, and he couldn't do it because Vince Carter decided to jump over him and dunk on him.
Yeah. All players like Vince Carter, so decided to stay in Europe.
That man top 10 pick and get dunked on and be like, oh no, everybody in America is probably like this. I am good. I am going back home. I'm gonna get an office job. I am giving up on my dream of playing basketball because I'm not about to get dunked on all day, every day.
Yeah. Well, he still did play basketball. It's just not in the NBA. He was just like, yeah, I'm going to Europe.
That is wild. That is crazy. That is so sad. That is so sad. Smokes is funny. So he get interviewed. And then my boy Rich. Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. I appreciate that, man. Let me know. Definitely let me know. I'll definitely shout you out and everything. That man Smokes is stupid though. That is so stupid. You do look.
Hey.
Sitting there holding the mic like it's
if you want to donate for an earpiece, you can.
Like the news.
Hey, if you want to donate me to get an earpiece and a frame, then yeah, we can make that happen.
Yeah, make sure y'all donate for my boy Seyi.
Still got the tape. We can make that happen.
Go to the link in the description and donate to my boy Seyi. His CashApp and everything is in there.
But yeah. My tape.
Terrible. But I love it. At this point, I just love it. It's just a funny part of the show now. But yeah, man, J.R. Smith joining the Lakers. Him replacing Avery Bradley is definitely a huge downgrade. But we won't for sure know how much the Lakers lose because we got to also see what what players other teams lose. And I feel like if anything, if there's some free agents out there, if I were a free agent that would actually good, especially if I was a 3-point lockdown wing or a 2 guard, just somebody that's a 3-and-D. I would prefer to go to somebody like the Lakers or maybe the Clippers because that would be my best chance of winning the championship, especially with a playmaker like LeBron. So I feel like the Lakers wouldn't have that hard of a time reloading, especially with the fact that other teams may have other players that's opting out or they have coronavirus and they won't be able to participate and stuff like that. So I feel like the Lakers might be straight. Of course, again, Avery Bradley for J.R. Smith replacing Avery Bradley is not equal at all. But I mean, I feel like they can overcome it overall.
I don't know because it really messes up their lineup. Because the Lakers, they were benefiting having LeBron run the point. And since LeBron can run the point, they put a lineup with Danny Green and Avery Bradley on the wings, which means Avery Bradley can guard a point guard or Avery Bradley can take the player's best offensive player. He could give LeBron a rest. So without Avery Bradley, that kind of messes up the lineup. Like, who are you going to put in to replace? Are you going to put J.R. Smith, who hasn't played basketball in about a year? Are you going to put Alex Caruso, who I think is better getting that scoring spark off the bench? Or are you going to put an ill-fitted Rajon Rondo on that starting lineup that's not a good fit with LeBron? I really don't know. You could put Kyle Kuzma, but even Kyle Kuzma is not a good fit with Anthony Davis and LeBron James. It kind of messes up the flow of the roster. They could put KCP, but also KCP is inconsistent. So I think
he's basically Diet Lou Williams.
Oh yeah. But
they're both from Gwinnett too, so it makes sense. He literally just diet Lou Williams.
exactly. So I was like, I don't know. I mean, Dion Waiters. So the NBA hasn't been on in about a while. So I forgot. Dion Waiters is officially signed by the Lakers, but Dion Waiters.
I mean, there's a lot of potential there. First of all, the off the court shenanigans.
How many years are we going to say Dion Waiters had potential? We said that in Cleveland. We said that in Miami. How many times does Dion Waiters have potential? Dion Waiters.
He shot for Miami with some buzzer beaters. He had moments for the Thunder. They were few and far between, but you know what I'm saying.
1 year. 1 year, he was decent. And even still, he was Dollar General D. Wade. And I'm not saying Alex Caruso was bad. Alex Caruso was good, but I'd rather have him off the bench. You need that scoring spark off the bench. I feel like he won't be as effective if he was in the starting lineup.
Yeah, I can see. I mean, at the very least, if Dion Waiters were to just make sure just improve his defense and be a great defender and be able to occasionally knock down a three, he'd be pretty straight. We don't really even need all that athleticism and playmaking.
Yeah, thing with Dion Waiters, he's ball dominant, and he can be ball dominant and inefficient. That's not good for a winning team. He's not that much of a 3-point shooter. He was decent in OKC. I won't say he was good. He was decent. He was
he had moments.
For a guy that was a former top 5 pick, I expect more than that.
I really expect more moments.
I said Miami was at its best, but you can contribute that to Eric Spoelstra's coaching, who I feel like is very underrated. He gets the best out of every single player he has. And even still, this past season, he was exiled from Miami. So that basically says something.
Yeah, I think he got caught with something on a jet or something on the team's jet.
Was it weed, if I remember?
It was something wild. I was like, come on, bro. Because he was just on $1 million worth of game with Gilly the Kid and Wallow talking about how he's getting his life together. And then he got caught with that like a few weeks after that. And I was like, come on, bro. You just said you were getting your life together with Gilly and them. So I was confused. I was so disappointed.
Because there was the news that he was unconscious. And it turns out he was just high off something. And that's how I found out it was like some sort of drug.
Yeah, that's wild. That's just wild that he still shouldn't be doing it, but it's wild that somebody even reported that. I'm surprised somebody was wake him up or just carry him to wherever they were going and just hide the fact that all of that happened. He was probably already on a short leash with Miami anyway. They're like, all right,
if I recall, he was already in the doghouse before that. That was just the icing on the cake.
Yeah.
So it really didn't mean anything. He was really D Wade's replacement. But then when they got D Wade back, like, okay, good. We don't need Dion Waiters anymore. Thank God. So
oh baby.
I remember when he gave Dion Waiters his number too. So Dion Waiters number 3. So DW3. He's literally like Dollar General D Wade. That's what he was.
Literally, I never even thought about the fact that his initials were the same. That is wild.
That's the first thing I thought about when they gave him that same number. It's like, wow, they really messing D Wade's thing like this. Like, what did Pat Riley have against D Wade? What happened with that conversation before D Wade left?
That is why I never even paid attention to that. That is crazy. I don't know why that's so wild to me. DW, that is crazy.
Yeah.
Man, I really hope that works out for them, though. I mean, I'm not the biggest LeBron James fan. I'm nowhere near a Lakers fan. I actually kind of don't like the Lakers just throughout history. You know what I'm saying? You don't like the top 10. You don't like the Lakers. You learn not to like the Yankees. You learn not to like the Patriots and stuff like that. So in Alabama in college. But, you know what I'm saying? I just want to see that. I want to see how that works out. I'm definitely very interested in seeing how they're gonna put the pieces back together with no Avery Bradley. And why did Avery Bradley say he didn't want to be there? Didn't he say it was he wanted to just be with his family or something like that?
Yeah, you want to be with family.
And I think Trevor Ariza is something similar.
Actually, I don't even remember. There were so many players who I saw got the virus, but I don't even think he had the virus. I think it was his daughter or something.
Yeah, I think he's just being precautionary. I think he's I don't even want to get it. I'm just gonna stay out of it. Type of thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I know LeBron must have been hitting a wall when he saw that news.
Oh yeah, LeBron was highly upset. LeBron was he went and dunked on Bronny real quick after he heard that news.
If you notice, LeBron was very quiet with the news with Kyrie not wanting the NBA to restart. Because I feel like LeBron was definitely against Kyrie. It's like, no, Kyrie, no, little bro, you ain't gonna stop me from getting this ring. Like we playing whether you like it or not.
Yeah, Kyrie is so talented, but I don't. His chemistry is just I don't know. He has one of the worst chemistry ratings I've seen in a minute. I mean, teams just get better when he leaves for some reason. After that Cleveland championship where he hit that clutch shot.
I won't say that. It was really only proven that Celtics got better when he left. And that's because Brad Stevens really just gets the most out of role players and high-end role players or stars that don't have an ego. He gets the most out of players like that. That doesn't really fit Kyrie because Kyrie definitely has an ego. So
yeah,
Kyrie thinks he knows better than everybody else. He knows better than the coaches. So if a coach trying to tell you what to do and tries to tell you that you need to do this and that, especially a coach who has never played professional basketball before, Brad Stevens, I don't think that this fit with Kyrie's MO. So that's why I felt the Boston Celtics fit was just a bad fit for that reason. And that's why he wanted Kenny out of there for the Brooklyn Nets. But I don't say that teams get better without Kyrie because Cleveland would have won that championship against Golden State if it wasn't for Kyrie hitting that big shot over Steph Curry. But it's really only the Celtics so far. You can say the Nets have been doing good without Kyrie, but it's more just because Spencer Dinwiddie's a beast than anything. But when they still get Kyrie and Durant back, that's still a team that could contend with the Bucks in the Eastern Conference.
Definitely. That's also something I wanted to talk about is like who may actually be able to return from injury that like if we had a regular NBA season without coronavirus and that none of this ever happened with quarantine and all of these different things, who like players that wouldn't have been available then but will be available now with this restarted NBA season. I know Clay's one of them. They said Clay is fully healthy.
Yeah, but the Warriors are not even eligible, are they?
I don't think so. I'm just saying, like, I know Clay is like one of those people that, like, if they were there, he would have definitely have came back and like he would have been ready to make a championship run. But I'm trying to think about out of all of the eligible teams who did the Nets make it? Are the Nets one of those teams?
The Nets are one of those teams, as I can recall, but Kevin Durant and Kyrie both said they're still sitting out.
Okay. And is it because of Corona or is it because of injuries? Like, are they just or Black Lives Matter or did they say?
Well, I think for both it's still injuries, and well, for Kyrie it's a mixture of both. But I think for Durant, I think he's just still not 100%. I think Durant kind of had an epiphany after he blew his Achilles out against the Golden State Warriors, and when Kyrie had his back in that interview where he said that the Warriors weren't doing good by him when they knew Durant wasn't completely healthy, but they still put him out there. And he said that sometimes you just got to think for yourself. You just got to take care of yourself first. I think Durant had an epiphany. It's like, you know what? I'm not rushing this. I'm going to wait till I get that. Kawhi Leonard won a championship off that philosophy because he wasn't letting anybody rush him. He'd rather leave the Spurs than come back and play for the Spurs when he wasn't ready. So he wasn't letting anybody rush him. He had Toronto Raptors give him all the low management he wants. Yes, Clippers right now giving him all the low management he wants, and he was a refreshed player. So Durant probably seen it from the outside, like, you know what? Maybe I got to follow Kawhi now and got to wait till I'm ready. Maybe he could be back for next season. But honestly, with an Achilles injury, you're not really completely sure. I've heard he's back.
You might never be the same. You might we'll never there's a chance that we may never see the 100% KD that we're used to seeing. Now, still like 80 to 90% KD is still one of the best players on the planet, but we may never again see the 100% KD that we're used to seeing.
Yeah, exactly. And Smoke says John Wall and DeMarcus Cousins back. Yeah, John Wall did say that he was ready to go, but he also plays for the Wizards, so he won't be ready to go. DeMarcus Cousins, yeah, he's back as well, But with the Lakers, it's just like, where do you fit in now? You got Dwight Howard. You got, he might not even play either because he's with Kyrie, and you got JaVale McGee.
He might possibly even have a chance of going to the Wizards. I've heard that it might be John Wall and Boogie trying to make
Kentucky reunion.
That's the big three right there. You know what I'm saying? Making their own little run.
I remember that team in Kentucky. John Wall, DeMarcus Cousins, Eric Bledsoe. That team was class. Patrick Patterson. That team was class.
Just take Eric Bledsoe and replace him with Bradley Beal. You got something to work with as long as Boogie Cousins stay healthy.
But for DeMarcus Cousins, it did get cut by the Lakers. But I'm not slandering any DC teams. The Wizards are trash. Like that's not any news. Like I'm sorry. Like I'm not saying what's obvious. I mean, y'all can get the top pick. I'm just being real. I'm just being real. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, my problem with Boogie is that he can't, because Wall's injury was just a really big injury, but I wouldn't say John Wall is injury prone. Boogie is like injury prone. It's been injury, comeback, injury, comeback, injury, and comeback injury. So
John Wall is kind of injury prone, to be honest.
Cousins. I mean, that man come back for a week and he's hurt again for a few months. I think Wall straight, at least for these playoffs.
John Wall, wasn't it that he had a torn ACL, then an Achilles back to back, and before he had like big neck injuries before that. Used to kind of keep him out of some games. Early in his career, I know he was getting injured a lot. John Wall is kind of injury prone, and he won't be back to being the same player. But let me read some of these comments because who I like. I am born in Boston and grew up in Atlanta, but I'm an overall basketball fan. I don't have teams I hate. I don't have teams I like. I just tell it how it is. Like the Wizards are horrible. I mean, that's common. Look at their record. That's not a debate. They're good. I mean, they're not good yet. They're not good. They got Bradley Beal in a bag of peanuts. That's it. They got Bradley Beal.
I'm not even a Wizards fan. I can't let you say a bag of peanuts.
They got Bradley Beal, Rui Hachimura, and Bryant, and that's about it. Everybody else are elite caliber players. Like, to be honest, but that's not a bad thing because you're rebuilding. I guess that's better than being in the Eastern Conference and losing to LeBron, because that's what they were doing before, where they had a healthy Wall and Bradley Beal.
Yeah, being in the middle, teetering is always terrible. Like the Hawks did pretty much our entire middle school and high school years of being like 8th seed, 7th seed. You're not getting great picks. You're not going anywhere in the playoffs. You're just in that middle that it just seems like you can't escape. You'll never be bad enough to get great players unless you draft really smart and make trades, win in free agency, and you'll never be great enough to actually do what you want to do, and that's win games. So I'll definitely, if I were a Wizards fan, I'd prefer to go ahead and just get these good picks and get ready to load up.
My bad, Smokes. I did make a mistake. Davis Bertans is good. He's their second best player, but technically Davis Bertans said he's not playing in the NBA this season. So technically he's not on the team. So I guess I got that right. But yeah, Davis Bertans. Okay, so it's Bradley Beal, Davis Bertans, Rui Hachimura, and Bryant, and that's about it. I don't think I missed anybody else. I think that's about it.
But I'm trying to think who else. I know Trevor Ariza said he won't be playing because I think it was something with custody with his kid. Like he finally is going to have custody, and he's not about to waste not getting that for the NBA. As he should. As he should. I definitely respect. What team was he just on before all of this went down? Who was he?
He left the Suns. Man, he's been on so many teams. Yeah, he was on a team. I think he got traded. Or was he still on the Suns? No, they traded him from the Suns. Yeah, I don't remember.
I do not remember what that man was. I do not remember. But yeah, shouts out to Trevor Ariza. The only reason he's ever really made me mad so far in his career was the whole Trae Young when he threw the ball when he nutmegged him, threw the ball under his leg. Hey, Trevor Ariza was mad about it.
He's a veteran. He ain't gonna let no young kid do that to him. I don't blame him. I mean, it was funny.
Like, bro, you get got, you get got. Don't get mad and hit him.
It was fun. And I know y'all coming at me for the comments. Like, okay, my bad, but the Wizards are bad. I'm just saying. The Wizards are not good.
Y'all head.
Beal was a superstar, but aside from that, they got players who are young and unpolished. They got Davis Bertans, who's a bona fide 3-point shooter. But I mean, Scott Brooks is not that bad of a coach either. Or at least he's okay. He's okay. But team had Isaac Bonga starting in their lineup. Isaac Bonga, he got no playing time for the Lakers last season. He is starting for that team. That shows the depth of talent that they had. They are not good. Like the Hawks are horrible, and I live in Atlanta, but I accept that the Hawks are trash outside of and John Collins. But yes, you guys are tanking, so you might get a top pick, and you might become better. But right now, your team is trash, which is why I think Beal had like some sort of record where he had like 3 straight games with 50 points a game, with 50 points, and he lost all those games. I mean, that's
that is sad. I know, because I remember that one time they had like a meme where he was just on the sideline shaking his head sad because he scored like 50 something and they still lost. I remember those 3 games in a row. That was crazy. That was wild. This boy Rich is not playing with you, Seyi.
All right, I want you to name their backups. Name their entire bench. If they're so good, name their entire bench.
Now, yeah, I would definitely prefer to be the team that's really bad now, get the great talent in the draft, come up in free agency, and then be ready to go. I'll definitely take that over those Hawks from when we were in high school. That was terrible. The Hawks, while we were in high school, was just sad. They would lose in the first round every year, and they would have one of the best records in the NBA. But then, because they had one of the best records, they never were able to get great draft picks. So they never could reload on talent. They just stayed in the middle. It was terrible.
And they also overpaid Joe Johnson.
Oh man, that contract was crazy.
Because it was like the Joe Flacco situation. You really didn't know what to do. Was it let him go and be a bottom feeder, or keep him and you'll be in the playoffs but you'll lose to LeBron? Or the Celtics, it was the Celtics at the time, the big 3 at the time. But then they had this scenario where they had all 5 very good starters in Jeff Teague, Kyle Korver, Amari Carroll, Al Horford, and Paul Millsap, but they were a 60-win team. They just couldn't beat LeBron.
Yeah, that's all that mattered. It didn't matter how much money.
Davis Bertans, I believe, is a starter. Davis Bertans is a starter occasionally. I know they got Rui Hachimura. And Ish Smith is a 3rd-string point guard caliber.
He got a tall head.
Mo Wagner wasn't getting playing time last season. Even though he could shoot threes, he wasn't getting playing time.
That boy is
Isaac Bonga does have good defense, but is he a starting caliber small forward in the NBA? No, he is not. They really only have 2, I guess we count Bryant, 3 starting caliber players. Rui Hachimura is on his way there. He's going to be a very good player, but it's Beal, Bertans, and Bryant, and then Hachimura has his moments, but even still, he's kind of raw in this game. I get it that you guys are fans. I get it. Y'all guys are. But I'm being real. That record speaks for itself. I'm just saying. That record speaks for itself. Like, look, Celtics. I say Celtics are not winning a championship, and I'm born in Boston. I could say the Hawks are still one of the worst teams in the NBA, and that's only Trae Young keeping them afloat. But I'm just saying. Troy Brown hasn't been doing much in NBA yet. It's like his 2nd year in the league. And he's a top 15 pick.
I'm here for this. I'm entertained by the Seyi versus the.
Yeah, I can take all this later. Look. Yes, your players are young, and that's what I'm saying. Your players are young, and that's why you guys are not winning. So I'm not saying that I didn't say that your team is trash, but I'm not saying that your team could be good in the future. It could be, but right now they're bad. That record speaks for itself.
So you're not saying they're going to be bad long term necessarily. You're just saying
they're trash now. Yeah, I'm saying they're trash now. That's all I'm saying.
That's pretty funny.
Like they're playing.
They're not young team building though. And like I said, hey, I prefer to be I'll take that top pick and reload on talent.
Oh yeah, but yeah, like I was about to say, is that with the lottery the way it is now, it's not even guaranteed that being the worst team at NBA is going to get you a top pick.
Yeah, but somewhat near. You'll be somewhat near what you're supposed to get. People don't really fall all the way far. The Lakers got hated on that one time, like 2 years ago. That was pretty funny. But wait, how's the NBA draft? Wasn't the NBA draft supposed to be technically like yesterday or the day before that or something like that?
Yeah, actually, I feel like a couple of days ago. Yeah.
Yeah. So how does that work? Like what?
They got postponed as well. I think they're like October or something. Like around.
So they're still gonna do it.
Yeah,
they're still gonna do it. Okay, cool. Okay, so then like that's just so weird how everything is affected with coronavirus because like we talked about in the previous episode of this podcast that like with certain players that's middling, like some people went to college and they only got to play for like a year and now they're forced to go into the NBA and they're not exactly ready. Oh, I see the comments. You can go ahead and you got to address something. I see. You got to go ahead and address it.
I'm just laughing. They said Shabazz Muhammad is decent. Shabazz Muhammad's a decent scorer, but that's where it ends. I remember the story with Shabazz Muhammad too. It was like he was a 21-year-old high schooler when he was supposed to be like 17 or something. He was like 3 years older than his listed age.
How and why?
When it's to get the advantage of the rankings. If you're playing in a younger group, you're going to be better than your competition. OJ Mayo did it too. He was older. So yeah, Shabazz Muhammad was supposed to be the next Kobe Bryant. He was compared to that in high school, but a lot of things happened. He had injuries and also that age thing. And he also didn't really do too. He didn't play as expected in college. So yeah. He's a decent scorer, but that's really all he brings you.
Napier.
Oh yeah, Shabazz Napier. See, I'm not even remembering everybody on the team, but yeah, Shabazz Muhammad ain't that good. But Shabazz Napier, see, he's been a player that's been going through different teams as well. Like he was in the Blazers, he was in so many teams. But yeah, Shabazz Napier, he's decent. He's decent. All right, he's decent. Y'all got me there, but because I'm saying it's the Wizards. That's what I'm saying.
Again, I'm sitting here chilling. I'm just watching the back and forth. I don't have a single hand in any of this. I wish the best for the Wizards because I'm a Redskins fan, DC, the DMV. We root for the same football team. So, but at the end of the day, it's Westbrook versus the world for me. So I don't even really like the Houston Rockets because I don't really like the Rockets. So I was sad to see them go there. So I root for Westbrook, but I don't really care if they win games overall. I just like seeing Westbrook play. I'm not gonna lie.
See, okay, so the Houston Rockets might actually be a dark horse for the championship because
that's running work. It actually was working pretty well.
It was, and they're finally going to have something they never had in their previous runs: a James Harden who's not exhausted.
Yeah,
because of this break. The reason why the Houston Rockets usually never go far is because James Harden usually gets tired. James Harden gets exhausted. And it's because of that the Rockets usually get figured out because when the offense is predictable, just give the ball to James Harden to get out the way. Because James Harden just gets exhausted in the playoffs because he carries his team every regular season. So right now, James Harden is rested, so the Rockets might do some damage.
Especially, you got a refresh button. Yeah, that is a good point. The guys like James Harden who have like really high usage rates, this reset lets them rejuvenate their energy and get everything back together. So players like James Harden with the high usage rates have gained a huge advantage from this reset. And Smoke Jam said Rico sitting back letting I'm chilling. Like I said, I'm neutral. I'm not a Wizards fan. Like, I'm not against them. I'm watching. I'm just having fun watching this back and forth. I'm in the middle just watching bullets fly by from both sides. I'm chilling.
I'm saying it's the Wizards. Shabazz Muhammad, Shabazz Napier. Okay, they're still not a winning team with that.
And Seyi does not mind being the villain. So I'm just sitting here having fun. I'm chilling.
Hey, I'm here. I'm here all day.
But the Rockets here, that small ball lineup thing they ran was actually very very successful. It was crazy. And I mean, with them living and dying by the three, you're gonna have games where you win by a lot. You're gonna have games where you lose by a lot, and it's inconsistent. But you know what I'm saying? They might be able to get a few. They might be able to beat a team or two in the playoffs. We'll see how when we get there. But again, I'm just Westbrook. I don't care about the Houston Rockets at all. Not even a little bit. I'm just here to watch Westbrook be funny and athletic. I don't care about anything else.
Yeah. With the Rockets. With Harden and Westbrook, they go do some damage, and with the way they play that small ball lineup, I'd say the reason why they're winning so many games was because it was just uncomfortable for other teams to play because they haven't played against a small ball team to that effect, where it's essentially like everybody on that team is 6'6" and under, so it's just uncomfortable. Put players like JaVale McGee, like Dwight Howard, out on the floor. So I say in the series that could get figured out. I kind of wish they still have Clint Capella with arrested James Harden out. That can like what can they do? But I believe they still got Tyson Chandler on the team if they wanted to go to a more bigger lineup, even though they don't play him.
Tyson Chandler's knees are still holding up.
Probably could play like 10 minutes a game if that. Well, who knows? Like I said, Harden's rested. He's still practically like one of the hardest to guard players ever in NBA history with the current rule book. You can argue he's the hardest player to guard ever with the way the current rule book is.
Yeah, not lying.
So I feel like this team's a real dark horse. Westbrook has been playing great with this. He's like a point center. He's like a center on offense. He stays in the paint where he's most effective. He'll get the boards. He'll crash. He'll drive to the basket. So with Harden, it kind of works with that with that small ball lineup. So we'll see.
Yeah, I agree. I'm excited to see what damage Westbrook can do in the playoffs when we get back.
Oh, I'm sorry with the comments because, like I said, Bradley Beal is a monster. I didn't say anything about Bradley Beal, but like I'm saying, Bradley Beal is a monster. He just doesn't have much help. Y'all should be able to see that.
3 straight 50-point games and 3 straight losses. Poor babies.
I honestly kind of wish this Bradley Beal was still a star with John Wall, but Bradley Beal is even better than he's ever been before. I kind of wish this same Bradley Beal was with prime John Wall. John Wall against the Hawks playoffs, John Wall. If that team was still together, who knows what damage they could do. But the team right now is not the way it should be because John Wall is hurt. And John Wall might not be the same player anymore. So it's a one-man team. Hey, I could go with this all day. I'm just saying.
Again, I'm sitting there chilling. I am relaxed.
Trade scenarios, because I feel like I'm going to get attacked if I say that. So I didn't even mention that, Kai Jones. I could have brought that up, but maybe they do need to trade Bradley Beal just so they could get more players, more picks, more capital return. Because the way that team is set up, you don't know. Maybe we should just try playing with John Wall to see if John Wall is back. If John Wall is back 100%. If not, maybe they should trade Bradley Beal just so they can rebuild again.
Boy, rebuilding does suck, though. Sometimes it takes too many years, like 5 or more, before you even see a semblance of some results. Just anything, just any hint of results, of any progress. Any significant progress. So I can understand how trading away Bradley Beal would be a soft spot because that is not fun. It is not fun. Plus, you never really get back like equal value in return. Like especially with like the Anthony Davis trade. Even though the Lakers gave up all of that, just not having an Anthony Davis, you technically lose the trade just because you can't find one, huh?
I felt Pelicans got more than enough for Anthony Davis.
I mean, they got a lot, but you just can't. You don't find an Anthony Davis. Like they just don't come around. I feel like I'll take the one superstar over several good players because that's the problem. The Celtics had for a minute where they just had too many good people instead of just having like a couple of bona fide dominant. Like, well, Jason Tatum is growing, and also Jalen. I mean, his defense and his 3-point shooting is getting better, so it can work. But I just those jack of all trades, just a whole bunch of jacks of spades, and then instead of having just a king or ace, is just I can't do it, me personally.
Yeah, but with the Pelicans, what they got back, you say you can't find an Anthony Davis. Well, they found a Zion.
Yeah, that is true. They were able to get a Zion. That is a good point. That's hard to hit on, though. That is really hard to hit on.
I mean, they got lucky, but they got Zion, and they got
Zion. That's a special case. That's a special case, but it's still like we still don't exactly know if his potential could be higher than Anthony Davis, but as of right now, especially for a team like the Lakers who wants to win now, and the Pelicans who are a team who are rebuilding, I feel like they're both very happy with the trade. I just personally would prefer the Anthony Davis side of it. Take the guaranteed dominant MVP candidate.
I don't know. With Pelicans the way they are, I think they're better off without Anthony Davis because when they have Anthony Davis, they're not winning championships with that team the way it was constructed.
Yeah, they weren't going anywhere. They were going nowhere fast.
Yeah. So they had to trade Anthony Davis, and now they got Zion. Got lucky getting that first pick. Like I said, the way the draft lottery is right now. Brandon Ingram, I was always high on Brandon Ingram coming out of Duke. He kind of underperformed in the Lakers, like due to circumstances. When I saw his true potential when LeBron got hurt that last season, and then that's when he came together.
He needs the ball.
Exactly, needs the ball in his hands to be effective, and he had that with Zion hurt. And the Pelicans this current season, and he showed he's a real all-star talent. And this guy still has potential to be like an absolute superstar. So they got very well at that trade, and not to mention they got Lonzo, they got Josh Hart, so they got lots of young pieces. They got Nickeil Alexander-Walker too. I just feel like since they got a smart GM with David Griffin, they're just a team to watch for the future.
It's a very exciting team to watch, boy.
Yeah. It's the Pelicans and Grizzlies. Those are the top young teams in the NBA right now. I honestly don't even put the Hawks there because the Hawks still got a defense problem that they still got to address. But with the Pelicans and Grizzlies, because the Grizzlies too, you got John Morant, you got Brandon Clark, you got Triple J. That team, the way it's constructed, that team could be a team to watch in the coming years.
There's a lot of young talent in the NBA that I'm excited about. I mean, Westbrook's athleticism is depleting every day that we look. I mean, there's a difference in how high he can jump, how fast he can move. So I got to find a new young player that's going to be my favorite player because I went from AI, Gilbert Arenas for a short stint, and then Westbrook. Now I got to find my next guy.
But he's a smarter player now. And the way the team is constructed, like I said, playing that point center position, I think it is depleting athleticism.
Yeah, it's definitely a great idea. I give all props to the coaches because that small ball lineup with him basically revolving around the paint. Because I mean, he's been trying to evolve his 3-point shot, and like we've already talked about. Once you start to lose your athleticism, you better adjust before the game makes you adjust. And he's kind of in that teeter in the game, making him adjust a little bit already, kind of. And he's been working on his 3-point shot, but it has not made any progress. It's actually kind of gotten worse statistically, free throw and 3-point percentage. So him being in the paint, which is where he's able to make his contact and win layups and get those boards where he's jumping over centers, is perfect for him.
Yeah, and it allows the Rockets as a team to play with Westbrook and Harden in that same lineup because One of my main problems with that Westbrook Chris Paul trade is that I felt the Rockets would got worse with Westbrook. Not to say Westbrook is a lesser player than Chris Paul. It's just the way that teams fit because the Rockets revolve around the 3-point shot. So you got a player that doesn't shoot threes well on that roster. That's just gonna clog the paint even more on James Harden. Taking that center away helps that team overall. So now Westbrook could be in the paint, and now you can surround Harden with other 3-point shooters, with PJ Tucker on the floor, with Daniel House on the floor. So you can surround Harden with those 3-point shooters and put Westbrook to what he does best.
Yeah. I definitely agree. I'm excited. And Joan said Ja is my next guy. I could probably try to get in the Ja. I'll see. I would love for somebody to come out of Atlanta that I can root for, like Anthony Edwards or something. I'm gonna see about Anthony Edwards. I'm gonna hold on Ja. I'm gonna see how Anthony Edwards is when he comes to the NBA. And I'll go from there. I would prefer for it to be somebody from Atlanta or somebody very entertaining because I love Ja's game. But like I like Westbrook off the court and beyond just his game on the court, the trash talking, the trolling, even the mistakes he makes, like missing dunks or that one time where he didn't inbound the ball. When somebody inbounded him the ball, he just started walking like 12 steps, no dribble, just shenanigans. That one time Jeremy Lamb tried to didn't dap him up, and Westbrook was expecting it. And then Westbrook was like, wait, hold on, you didn't dap me. And then went back to him, got the dap, and then stared him down the whole way into the locker room like he was genuinely upset about it. It's just shenanigans. Same thing with Gilbert Arenas. Gilbert Arenas was shenanigans. He wasn't as shenanigans as Westbrook entertainment-wise. He was worse as far as, with the gun thing in the locker and all of that, with the poker, spade, whatever they were playing. But as far as like on the court shenanigans, Gilbert Arenas was not as funny as Westbrook. So that's why he only lasted like a little while, then the gun case or whatever. And then before that was AI, where juking people out their socks, getting his hair braided on the sideline. That's what I need to be interested in basketball. Me personally, I don't care about basketball enough to just watch it and be the stats guy, the X's and O's guy. That's football for me. Basketball needs somebody super entertaining, and John Morant just like personality wise hasn't gotten that for me yet. I love how he dunks on people. I love how fearless he is, but like shenanigans, I haven't gotten the shenanigans yet. I don't see him trash talking people in the face of people and stuff like that. I haven't gotten that yet. If J.R. Smith was a better player, maybe. You say what?
He's done that sometimes. For rookies, he's been doing that a lot.
Yeah, he's been like talking trash, but he's not like like he doesn't have like a personal beef. Like when Westbrook and Damian Lillard are playing, even though I know Damian Lillard gets the best of Westbrook most of the time they go against each other, I'm still like excited to watch that game because I know it's Westbrook versus Lillard. Like personal beefs, him with Patrick Beverly, just shenanigans. I love all the extracurriculars. That's what I'm here for.
I would say Giannis, I guess, because Giannis has had some beef with Joel Embiid.
Yeah, that is pretty. Joel Embiid is really entertaining, but I'm just not a center type of guy. I'm not even gonna lie. Like in football, even though a lot of people consider defensive line or offensive line boring, that's actually my favorite part. But when it comes to basketball, just like a casual fan, I'm here for the exciting, fast dunking guys. So like centers don't really. I would say Giannis kind of. You know what I'm saying? He's fast.
Giannis and James Harden. That was beef right there.
Oh, yeah, I remember that slight thing they had going back and forth with the media on whose fault it was with the All-Star game and all of that type of stuff. I remember that. But it's not the same as Westbrook. Westbrook looked like he's ready to fight somebody every game. I need that. I need that type of energy.
I don't know with the way the NBA is constructed nowadays, you're going to find someone like Westbrook again. Westbrook was a rare breed for these current times anyways, because every player is essentially buddy-buddy right now because we've been playing each other since AAU. So
yeah, that is very true.
Yeah.
Just like how John Morant and Zion go all the way back to high school playing with each other.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Russell and Ben Simmons played in Montford Academy.
Yeah. Yeah, it is wild. Yeah, a lot of people are friends growing up. I know all the DMV people super stick together. Seyi, if you haven't watched that DMV documentary with basketball, you got to watch it. There's a reason that it's literally LA and then like DMV second as far as like basketball talent. Even PG County specifically, even though it's such a small area, it like fully explains like why basketball is so big there and you have so much talent coming out of there. It's really crazy. It's fire. I would definitely suggest. I gotta remember the name of it though. Somebody knows it. Put it in the comment section. It's a really good documentary. It's only like an hour or two.
Yeah, I gotta check it out.
Yeah, it's really dope. It's really dope. Oh, my boy Juan Gotti. What's up, Rico? I'm looking at the bottom of green screen. I want to know what's the best one to get. Hit me up on Twitter and I got you. I can literally send you an Amazon link. And Trace Young is with the shenanigans with the nutmegs. I do like the nutmegs, but like personality wise, Trey Young doesn't have that he's a little.
He's kind of corny personality.
Yeah, I don't want to say nerdy, but he over there with it. You know what I'm saying? I need another Westbrook. I need another AI. I'm sorry. Sorry. Westbrook dresses weird, but you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, he's more AI. Westbrook is more AI than he is Trey Young. PG puts out the most pros. There you go. Thank you, Ivory. Thank you. In the Water is a documentary. Bro, you gotta watch it, Shay. It's crazy. Because even before that documentary, even though I consider myself from Atlanta, I've been vouching for PG County to all my friends. I'm like, bro, PG County is literally LA and then PG County. Florida, Texas, Georgia, all of them got it for football, and California. But when it comes basketball, it's literally LA and PG County. And PG County is such a small area. So it's wild that it competes with LA and Long Beach, all of that space, and Florida. Yeah. And all. So you got to see why though, like how the culture was built since like the past.
Yeah, I do think it is the DMV overall, and and LA, like around that area, and also Chicago as well.
Chicago has some great suits. I forgot about Jabari Parker, Anthony Davis, Derrick Rose, all of those. It's a lot of people. Patrick Beverly. Chicago does have a lot of 5 people from there too, and especially throughout history.
Can you find it crazy how New York is no longer the mecca for basketball?
I was just about to say that, bro. New York has the most accessibility to courts out of any city ever, and they are the biggest basketball heads, and their street ball is some of the most fun street ball to watch. Maybe not DMV compared, because DMV, you know what I'm saying, it's more, I feel like DMV has more talent, but New York, I mean, it's just a mecca. It's so many people come there. I mean, people come from around the world to play in New York just to catch a pickup game. And it's crazy that literally their best talent right now is Kemba Walker, and after that, it's a drop off. Like that's literally it. That it's amazing. And I've talked about this. I've had conversations about this too.
Hey, we forget about St. John's greatest, Mo Harkless. Let's not forget about.
Yeah, that's the drop. Kemba Walker, Mo Harkless. That's New York's finest right now in the NBA, which is shameful because that is a basketball season. I remember one time it was me and Lyric there at West 4th, and somebody was telling me about how Smush Parker grew up on that court and he used to always be there, and that's New York's finest. I'm like, y'all are bragging about Smush Parker. How is New York falling off so far? I mean, Lance Stevenson. But like, New York is such a basketball state. It just makes no sense with how accessible courts are, how much they live, breathe, and die basketball. I mean, everywhere you go, people are playing basketball. Even people that don't really even care about basketball like that. It's just something to do.
One word.
Like here, where we don't have that many courts. You say what?
Gentrification. That's why.
Yeah, but they're still outside balling. I mean, Middle Easterns, white people, Asians, everybody's playing basketball in New York all the time.
But before there was a time in the 90s where New York was just like what are you doing? You're either playing basketball, selling drugs, or doing whatever.
Okay. With the Marbury era and all of that stuff, Metal World Peace and everybody.
And also that's when like places like Harlem, like Brooklyn, had more of their culture. But now everything's being gentrified. So you got basketball courts that are underfunded. You got Rucker Park, for example. Rucker Park is not the same Rucker Park as I remember it when I was a kid.
It's definitely in Dykeman now. It's definitely a Dykeman thing now. It's not Rucker Park. Rucker Park does their thing occasionally, but Dykeman is definitely the spot where like Kyrie Irving was there last summer and stuff like that. That's the new spot where basketball players come and show off and stuff like that, and they hold tournaments. But they kind of have tournaments all around that you can catch. But Dykeman is like the new Rucker Park. Yeah, I mean, you're right though. Gentrification definitely plays a large role in it. Because they're trying to move minorities out of areas that are near train stations. And since like the 80s and 70s, some of the worst places were near train stations. So now they're trying to like clear it out so they can charge more since your apartment or house is near a train station. So it is moving people away. And I've heard that a lot of people go to Jersey. That's why New York is way safer. It's the safest city I know I can go to right now.
That's why I got better players in Jersey as well.
Yeah, so yeah, everybody's going to Jersey or maybe the Bronx, maybe Yonkers, but I mean, it's still wild. I mean, people play basketball all day, every day there. I guess maybe people from the DMV don't understand how weird that is, like how like unique that is, because that's what they're used to. They have parks everywhere. They have goals everywhere. You come to Atlanta, we have the most severely underdeveloped park situation. I mean, if we want to go ball here, we got to pay. Or if we go here, it's outside, but it's Georgia, so it's raining most of the time. We can't
drive too. In New York,
it takes 40 minutes to drive to the court that you have to pay for. Where DC, DMV, Maryland, you can just go to courts for free, like New York. So,
hey, Hunter, I do know about Felipe Lopez. That's also St. John's greatest. Let him know. Also, Ron Artest. Let him know. All St. John's greatest. Yup. Bill Winnington. Let him know.
I mean, from what I've learned, and I already said the league is about 3 Actually, I know. Well, then again, it's more so the other races, but them at least is Asians and white people in New York. I'm not gonna lie, it might be a stereotype, but usually when I step on a court, they're the ones that splashing infinitely. And like usually the Spanish people and the black people and even a lot of white people like to, what I know New York for when I'm balling was different in New York from in Georgia. Is that Georgia's more athletic. New York is more show-offy. They're doing super dribbles. They're trying to shoot fadeaway threes. But also more defense, aggressive, and what I'm saying, like, generally.
Yeah, compared to Georgia in New York's also a little bit more fundamental than Georgia.
Way more fundamental. I'm not gonna lie. Unless you're like really like considering basketball as a career, you're like a pickup game in Georgia is not about to have much at all.
You're gonna get hurt. It's like playing football out there. You're gonna get hurt.
Literally football, and you better be ready to fight. It's not New York where people trash talk and they just keep going. It's like you better be right. Somebody might get shot. It's different. Like DMV, even though it's it has its really bad areas and stuff. There's like a general respect on the court where it's like, okay, this is basketball. We're gonna leave it on the court and that's it. For some reason, Atlanta isn't like that. Just to warn y'all. So if y'all come down here to play pickup games, don't think somebody's gonna get mad because you elbowed them to the chest and they're just gonna chalk it up to basketball. It's gonna actually be like a for real problem.
And in Atlanta, you got players, you got people that will come in that can't play a lick of basketball at all, but they play football. They play football, so they're gonna try to be overly physical with you to the point where it could get on your nerves. And the point where you could lose your temper, which that happened to me a couple of times too. They can't play basketball at all. They'll try to foul you. They'll try to grab you. They'll try to hack you. So they won't pass the ball either. They're definitely not fundamental in Georgia. Everybody's trying to show out in Georgia.
Everybody. Actually, Cliftondale, right up the street. Some of the best guys I know that come there to ball consistently are literally from the DMV. Like literally, some of the best guys. They're from Maryland. But they just live down here now, and they're super fundamentally sound and everything. Atlanta does not have fundamentals when it comes to just random pickup game basketball players. Not like the DMV in New York does. And that's what I'm saying. That's just back to my point. Like, there's no excuse, New York. I know there's gentrification, but y'all have so many access to courts. Y'all don't understand compared to Atlanta how many resources and free things they have to their disposal. There's no excuse.
It's synonymous with basketball and rap. Rap has gone down in New York too. So rap has gone down.
Yeah. And they rap. I don't know New York. I mean, but I blame gentrification for everything.
Everything is commercial now in New York, and that's a problem. New York just don't have the culture anymore that they did back in the 90s. And when they had that culture, that's when you had basketball players coming out. You had rappers coming out, but now they don't have that culture anymore. It's just corporate. New York is corporate and gentrified. It's all hand in hand.
It's really safe too. I mean, of course, every place has its bad parts, but if I had to choose a place to raise my kids where I'm pretty sure it's going to be safe and I don't have to worry about anything happening to them, New York City is the place. And it's crazy because in the 80s, 90s, even the early 2000s, New York would have probably been last on the list. Now it's like, I mean, the change with the gentrification, how fast it was, how massive it was, New York is just different. New York is way different now.
Yeah, like you can literally walk like 3, 4 a.m. with your headphones on. Nothing will happen to you. Trust me.
Chilling in a place you've never been. Chilling. Just, I mean, even the differences since my freshman year of college and last year I went, even some parts of Harlem when I went 6 years ago for the first time look different and have a different demographic than what they have now. Like New York got obliterated.
It came to the point where I was the darkest person on the street.
And like just chilling people. Like it's not what it used to be at all.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard me, but I said it came to a point where I was the darkest person on the street. Like in Harlem, in deep parts of Harlem. So yeah, it's just everything is so commercial now. Like I know they got Dykeman, but Rucker Park was the legendary outside basketball court. So many legends played through there.
It's Bronx. You can literally see it's a small river, a bridge, and it's Bronx, South Bronx, right there. That's why it was so connected. It was beautiful.
And the court now is just so broken down. I don't know if I went. I went with you when we saw Rucker Park because I told you when we were in New York, the main thing I wanted to go to Harlem was to see Rucker Park. And when I saw the way Rucker Park was with the broken down hoops, like in the court the way it was, it kind of broke my heart. I mean, I was imagining.
They fixed it up a little bit after that because it was one random time Lyric stayed with me during the summer. I think you already graduated. You were already back in Atlanta, I think, or you were in New York, but you weren't at St. John. Either way, it was after you were gone. It was like my senior year or something. Lyric came up to New York with me, and we actually went to a Rucker Park game. But again, it's not the same. You're not about to get the celebrities to come there because all of the funding and the celebrities and everything are at Dykeman. So yeah, Rucker Park still isn't the same.
Okay, well, Smoke says my homeboy moved to New York to take a job. Some dude pissed in his work boots, so he wanted to fight. The dude drove him to the spot to fight them and whooped his.
What? What, Smoke? Oh yeah, Smoke. You said it was always a fight on the court, but yeah, like I would say the difference between Atlanta and the DMV is like it's like y'all pick up games. People like actually aspire to be basketball players. They're like, you know what? At the end of the day, I'm not going to lose my life over this basketball because I actually want to do something with this. Atlanta is literally people that care more about rapping, care more about anything. Basketball is just something to do. And a lot of times it seems like they prefer to fight than to play basketball.
Oh, yeah.
It's slightly different. I'm not necessarily people more. It's just more like people don't care as much. As the DMV is like, y'all are actually trying to cultivate talent. People actually go and put up shots till late night, working on their craft. No, nobody's at the court in Atlanta, usually, especially in my area, unless it's like perfect weather. First of all, they're not about to be out there working on their craft. Nobody's running drills unless it's a dad with their sons, and everybody's just doing random stuff. People have on their sagging jeans with slides. Oh, generally out of a game of 10, it's at least 4 people wearing slides. Like no joke, I'm not trolling. There's 4 people wearing slides. Heavy stuff in their pockets, knives, phones, everything. Like it's literally no caring. It's literally just something fun to do. It's not I'm trying to be the best basketball player I can be. It's just I'm outside chilling, and whatever happens type of thing. It's just slightly different culture-wise.
So this is what happens when I go to a recreation court. You'll have about like 10 or 12 people. They're playing full court pickup games. Basketball, they're taking it seriously. You got the people waiting. Getting next. They're here taking it seriously. They're just talking trash on the sidelines. You'll have some people that are just really there to smoke and smoke with a couple of people that are playing the pickup games and they're really just only there to smoke. You'll have some people that just bring their kids, their girls, baby mamas along. You'll have like babies.
Every 3 times I go to Cliftondale, there's just a set of pit bulls for no reason. But they're so adorable though. But yeah, keep going.
There was one time where I was playing basketball. This was in Ron Anderson where we go to, Rico. And someone literally brought their kid, and their kid, I say, was about literally a year old. He was playing pickup games while he just has his kid just on the sidelines. Then his kid would go, okay, I'll say about 2, but yeah, he's 2 years old. But the kid will go try to pick up a basketball, run mid-court. While he was playing a pickup game, run to the other side. And we would literally tell him, yo, get your kid. Why are you playing? Get your kid. Basketball is flying all around the basketball court, all around recreation. So you just got a 2-year-old boy just walking around. This is what you've seen a regular Atlanta. This
That's
recreation.
inside too. Outside is way over here. Cliftondale is way worse. Way less organized. People be arguing who got next, and people start fighting because people lost track. They be like, "No, I called it. No, I've been called it." It's terrible. It's so stupid. It's so unproductive. That's what the problem. We just don't get game. We play less games because people are too busy being ignorant. It's so funny.
Yeah,
It's so funny. It's hilarious. Now, I go there to laugh more so than to play basketball. I'm there purely for laughs and exercise.
yeah, I'm there to play basketball, but yeah, I said there was a couple of times where I almost lost my cool, but yeah, there was a time I did play against one of those people who couldn't play basketball, but it was like 200 and something pounds football player, I guess, and he was just fouling me. And there was a point where I literally threw a basketball at him. And then I just thought about, can I do this? And I'm like, no, I'm like in my mid-20s. Let's not get in a fight. So I was just like, whatever.
Yeah, no, Ron Anderson is completely different from over here at Cliftondale. It's not people running games, and it's organized, and it's just super dysfunctional.
That one was outdoors. That story was outdoors.
Yeah, outdoors is completely different from indoors. And then indoors is where you have to pay, or it's free certain days. But then again, Ron Anderson is 40 minutes away from me with no traffic. So it's just, I'm good. I'll just prefer to deal with these fools over here. That's a walk away, and just, hey, I'm here for comedy. I'm not here to take basketball seriously. And it seems like that's what everybody else is doing. But again, there's some people from the DMV that actually come there and ball out, and they go on streaks because they have chemistry. They pass. They shoot well consistently. They have chemistry with each other. Like they do outlet passes. And they just come through, and it's not fair because other people just don't come with chemistry. They don't care as much. They're not out there till dark shooting until the lights go off and stuff like that. Because we don't have lights. So when the sun goes down, that's it. Everybody just got to go home. And so, there's none of that. There's nobody practicing to the end. Everybody's just chilling, blasting music. There's a bunch of people smoking, just chilling. It's not an environment conducive to cultivating basketball talent at all. You kind of feel stupid for caring sometimes. When you really, really care and you're trying to really win, you kind of feel stupid. You're like, well, and nobody else cares that much.
In my side of town, at least, in Powder Springs area, you definitely have tryhards that really care. But it's like they care too much to the point, like, bro, you're not getting signed. You're not getting.
There's nobody scouting you.
But they care to the point that they will fight you or something.
Nobody's scouting you, my guy. You good? It's straight. We just having fun here.
Yeah, my time in New York. It's a little bit more fundamental. They actually ran plays, set pick and rolls.
Yeah.
I'll say it was a lot slower. Since there was less athletic people and I have a bum knee, it was actually easier for me to play against them than against someone in Atlanta because I really got to keep up with them because the average person I play in Atlanta is faster and stronger than someone I play in New York.
Yeah, that is very true. That is very true.
I had to with that. And Smokes, that was racist. I'm African, so that's racist. I look like a machete under my car seat. That's racist.
Rico, so are you going to buy the mini fridge or the Wi-Fi router? I'm not getting a mini fridge. I'm good. Everything is going straight into the stream. Everything. I already have a new camera. Y'all will see. Actually, first of all, I'm just going to speak about it briefly because I don't want to take up too much time because we only have 20 minutes left. But y'all will see on Sunday, my stream is completely different and revamped. Like, y'all are going to see so much more going on. There's going to be music in the background, new camera. The Wi-Fi signal is stronger. I got the Wi-Fi thing already, so I appreciate everybody that's donated did that. But bro, you ain't lying. My neighbor was 5'6", 140, and used to shoot free throws left-handed for hours for absolutely no reason. No, that's not Atlanta at all. At least not my part. The part, like, if you're near a place that's relatively developed, and like over there with Seyi is they have an inside gym and everything, then people definitely are tryhards and they do all of that. But where I'm at, people care way more about rapping and joan and all of that than the actual basketball game that's at hand. So it gets to a certain point where people's prides kick in and they care to win because of that. But there's no like, I'm gonna be a basketball player in the future at all mentality at all. None of it. There's no I'm gonna sit here and shoot extra 3-pointers and make 10 in a row before I go home. There's absolutely none of that over here. Not a lick of it. Oh, you see, smart. There you go, Shay. So there you go. It's nice. Hey, I mean,
that's a stereotype. No, that's a stereotype. Not all that.
It sounds like it's true. It sounds.
That's a stereotype. That's a stereotype. See, we shouldn't fall for these stereotypes. You gotta get these stereotypes out of our mindsets. Just because I'm Nigerian doesn't mean I keep a machete in my car. So let's put it out there right now.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? His uncle's Nigerian, he does, you know, you might be able to connect the dots, you know what I'm saying?
I don't do that, nah. No mind.
You don't keep anything in the car, nothing, not even like a tiny little thingy?
I feel like I shouldn't say it, but I don't keep anything in the car. Just before anybody from Atlanta robs me, but I don't keep anything in the car. I know I should, but I also know where to go and know where not to go. And certain times.
That helps a lot.
Yeah.
That helps a lot. Even though the problem with Atlanta, though, is that it doesn't really matter what area you're in. Like, the mentality here is that, like, people leave their hood to go do crime. They don't do crime, which is, I mean, I can see that. That's pretty solid. Like, you don't do crime in your area to your people. You go, that's why even though Lenox and Buckhead is technically the really nice part of Atlanta, the rich people part, that's where a lot of crime happens, robberies, all of the shootouts, because that's where people go to do stuff so that they don't damage where they stay at. You know what I'm saying? A lot of Atlanta hoods actually aren't that bad, especially if you look like us. You might be pretty straight unless they like realize like it's a tight-knit hood and they're like, we don't know you not from here or whatever. That's the problem you have. But generally, I kind of feel safer where I'm at than like Buckhead.
Definitely. I got my car broken into in Midtown.
You get target there because they're like, okay, well, anybody's free game out here. I don't have to worry about anybody from here being from where I'm from, so it's whatever. So, you know, it depends, though, because, of course, there's some parts that, like, once you go in, there's somebody waiting on you. like Greenbrier, you're not shopping near Greenbrier during Christmas. That's impossible. You're not doing that. You're done. Like, it's dead. You're going to go in, buy stuff, come out, car gone, or stuff in your car gone. And you basically just reset and you're back to step one. So, yeah, it's just – but generally, the nice areas in Atlanta get targeted for a lot of stuff because, you know, people are, I mean, smart or whatever you want to call it. They don't do their dirt at their house usually. They try to take it other places, which I can kind of respect.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw that video, Rico. If anybody else in the comments saw this video, it was like a few months back, but it took place in Atlanta. How this, I'll say Caucasian lady, left her keys in the car, went to the gas station, and then someone literally parked their car, got out their car, opened the car, and drove off with her car. So they'll take advantage of people like that. I mean, I got my car broken into in Midtown, and I say
there's no way you're from Atlanta, have lived there for at least 5 years, and haven't had your house and or car broken into. There's no way. There's literally no way.
Okay. And I say broken into because for the one lucky time, I forgot to lock my car, so he really just only opened the door and took about a couple of dollars. While from the car next to me, that was a pretty nice car, got their window smashed. So unfortunately for them, they weren't so lucky.
People's cars, even my high school, were getting robbed consistently, especially the teachers. Oh boy, if you were a teacher, you might as well park on because there was a student side and a teacher side. And basically, if you parked on the teacher side, you're pretty much a target. So some teachers, I think, were even parking on the student side just in case to kind of take them out of the hot zone. And like, I mean, if you had like one teacher had like the Jeep with the little clear windows where it's not like a glass window or something you can easily rip. Boy, they went in there, got his Mac and everything. I mean, it's sad. One time, somebody broke into our car at our house and took our grandma's prescription glasses. It's like, well, what are you even going to use those for? Like, you can't wear them. Like, it's prescribed for her. Like, it's just silly. It's just Atlanta is definitely home of the silly, just random, unnecessary crimes. We're definitely the robbery capital. We're not the get shot capital, stabbed, or anything else, shootout capital. But we're definitely scam. We're second place to scamming only to New York, and we're definitely robbery capital. There's no way you lived in Atlanta and haven't had something taken from you in some way. So when you said you almost lost your cool. I interpreted that you was going under the seat.
I was going to try to throw hands. Even if I lost it now, I was going to try to throw hands. I didn't mean nothing like that. But that was something I used to get into a lot of fights in middle school and high school and elementary. No, just middle school and high school. So I used to get in a lot of fights then. And I was thinking about going back to that round. I was like, nah, I'm in my mid-20s. That's where I'm at. Almost lost my cool. Ain't nothing like that. I don't got a chopper or anything. I don't got nothing like that.
Yeah, I'm saying, what type of low-level street scum does Atlanta have? Oh, it's infinite cars. Even when we're at this court, we park our cars to where we can see it now because it's a lot of people that don't even play basketball. They just walk by the court, see whose cars might be good targets, look in your windows. There's no way you're in Atlanta and you leave out your car and your bag is still like obvious. Like you can see a bag in your back seat or your front seat. You might as well just expect to come back to your car with the window broken and that bag gone. You have to put all your stuff in your trunk under the seat.
Yeah, I put everything in my trunk.
Let me see. But yeah, no, it's typically younger people, like younger than us, like me. Yeah. I'm 25, Shay's like 27, 28. It's usually people 18 and younger that are usually doing all of that stuff.
But you like teenagers, 18. Yeah, usually like teenagers for the most part. And I do have a couple of other friends that got their cars broken into, and it was in the West End. That was like that's by the HBCU, Spelman Morehouse.
That's Lil Baby. That's all you need to say. That's where Lil Baby's from.
Yeah, where Lil Baby's from. So yeah.
I'm not Greenbelt. West End Hall. It's terrible.
The police officers literally said, like, I'm going to be honest with you. Since this happened so much, this is probably going to get back to you in a year to see who the culprit was. This happened.
He had his car broken into at the court that I just described. The police were literally like, we can't do anything for you. They took a lot of your stuff, but it's like, this happens every day, all day. We're not just going to help you. You're going to get in a long line of people just to help find your bag. So it's pretty sad. I mean, like I said, we're robbery capital, I would say. I don't think we're that bad. Everything else, like shootings and stuff, is pretty bad. It's worse than national average, but I wouldn't say we're top. Like, we're not Chicago, I don't think. Even though people have said Chicago's getting better and Atlanta's getting worse, I don't know. Honestly, is that part, but robbery, yeah. Because even when I'm walking by people's houses, if I can see your TV from the front door, I'm like, oh, you're not safe. But I mean, it's sad that that's like a mentality. But like it's wild to me when I'm walking outside of somebody's house and I can see the TV in their living room, because that TV in certain places is gone. There's no way you should have it to where somebody can see your TV while it's on from the outside of your house. It's just random stuff that you really don't even think about that you shouldn't have to worry about. But hey, man, it's crazy. Oh, my one friend, they used to be on Xbox all the time. I don't know if it was like an inside thing because they took everything. I mean, we came home from school. He got dropped off by the bus and his door was open. His whole family room was gone. Like furniture, Xbox, TV, like it was crazy. And I literally haven't talked to him since, like really. Like I literally, everything was gone. So I don't know if that was like people watched his parents and his schedule every day to see when nobody would be home. So they were like, okay, this is the best time to take as much as we can. Or I don't know. But I feel like people actually watched their patterns and were like, okay, we'll have this much time to take this much stuff. Wait, bro, we came home from school. He got dropped off at the bus stop. And boy, it was nothing. Like the family room was gone. The furniture, and he never got another Xbox. I never talked to him on Xbox again. That was like early high school, late middle school or something. The whole thing gone.
Well, shouts out to Mountain Genetics. I'm gonna get to this Streamlabs question. We appreciate that. But you said y'all feel like you have to have heat to feel safe. Look, I'm definitely against gun violence, but in Atlanta, I really don't blame anyone who has heat because it's really like that. It's really like
gun laws are very loose too. I think the only people with like less strict gun laws than us are Texas and Florida. You can do a lot in Georgia with guns. Like you don't even have to have you can have a gun and technically not have a gun license really, as long as it's in your house and your car is an extension of your house. So technically that's your house. You need a gun license, I believe, just to conceal and carry beyond your house and your car. So like Georgia's different. It's weird. It's definitely they don't care. They don't care.
And the best method for a donation for us, I say, is PayPal, right, Rico? PayPal.
I'm about to put it right now. That's literally what I'm going to right now. It's in the link of the description. It's like in the description of the video. Hold on. I got y'all. Hold on. But I'm gonna paste it in there anyway though. I'm gonna paste the whole thing, how to donate, and then Seyi. Oh, wrong show. Dang, this is only my information. Hold on, I got it. But yeah, Atlanta's weird. I'm not judging y'all. Just trying to get an idea. I mean, again,
we know you're not judging. We know that.
Yeah. Again, I would say it depends on what part you live in, but again, that technically doesn't matter because, like I said, people usually leave their area to do their dirt, unless like it's the really young kids that just bad. And like I said, 18 and younger, just doing it just cause, like not even to do it because they want something. More so for fun. Like that's what people do. That's typically a lot of rappers y'all listen to, like Rich Homie, Young Thug. A lot of them, their first cases are robbery. That's what they do when they're like a kid. People just start off in high school just robbing. That's what they do. They break into houses, rob people at gunpoint, break into cars. That's just like I don't know. It's just a thing. It's like growing up. It's like an African ritual where you have to test your might or something. I don't know. Before they start doing anything else, robbery is always the first step. So it's always a bunch of kids doing that. But like otherwise, it's typically people leave their area to go do it. So I would say pick your area, but at the same time, because you're in a nice area, that does not mean anything. That does not mean anything.
Right now, I don't have a gun, and honestly, I never used a gun before. But if I feel like I have a family, then yeah, I feel like I would have to use a gun. I'll have to train myself, and I would use a gun. I'll probably have a gun for protection if I have a family. But right now, I don't. But if I have a family, I got to worry about, especially in Georgia, not even just Atlanta, just in the state. I definitely feel like I'll need some protection. And I appreciate you, Smokes, as well. Appreciate you, Smokes.
My boy Smokes.
And Genetic.
My boy Smokes. My boy Smokes. Appreciate that, Smokes. Yes, sir. Thank you, Smokes. Yes, sir. Much appreciated. That's $5 towards getting my grandma some more prescription glasses. Thank you for that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I mean, Atlanta's not that bad though. Like as long as you can ignore robberies, you're pretty good. You don't have to worry about just randomly getting. I mean, but then again, that's per area as far as shooting.
That's by area.
Yeah, shootings are per area. Robberies is just you're in Atlanta, is gonna happen.
You gotta know where to walk too. You just gotta know what areas to be in and what not to be in. The more you know about Atlanta, the safer you can be.
Yeah, and places change because they'll tear down an apartment building. So then now that area is getting gentrified and is nice. But then those people move to a different area and now that area is worse, type of thing.
Yeah, because we had the Super Bowl here a year ago or a couple years ago. Yeah, a year ago. Because we had a Super Bowl here, I say downtown's a little bit safer now because they made sure they cleaned up the place just so the tourists could come in. And because of the Mercedes-Benz Stadium as well, more events are happening. We were supposed to have the Final Four and National Championship for college basketball. We are going to have the World Cup in 2026, well, at least some games. So because of that, they're trying to make sure that area is a little bit safer. So I'll say like directly downtown, it's a lot safer than what it used to be. But if you're still like around the HBCU area, then I'll say that area is kind of dodgy. And 5 points. And 5 points as well, yeah.
5 points too. I know I can go to, and I don't know what's gonna happen. I've seen the you know that DAP where once somebody has something in their hand, the other person has something in their hand. That's the place where I always get asked for my bank account information. They can flip your money. That's that McDonald's and Waffle House. That's also the one where somebody randomly came in with a whole cart, like literally standing cart rack of like baby clothes. Yeah. Just straight baby. I'm like, who are you trying to sell this to? Oh yeah, let us know, Pedro.
Yeah.
Let us know. And in my year, super true. All of them, bro.
Yeah, all races.
I think Atlanta is it's black people robbing people thing.
Who you think are doing?
Young. It's everywhere. It is literally everywhere. It's everybody. It's all races. It's just an Atlanta thing.
You think you're doing most of the looting here too?
Oh yeah. Most of the looting was definitely. I don't think it was us. I don't necessarily think it was us. Emmanuel Hall tore his Achilles. No, my boy. No, that hurts. Appreciate the update. Appreciate the update, Pedro. Appreciate that. Dang, that hurts. That's my boy. I was hoping for great things out of him. Dang, the more wide receivers we lose to shootouts and injuries, you know what I'm saying, we're going to end up having to get a free agency signing. But yeah, how do you tear an Achilles right now? Was he bowling? Was he playing ping pong? Like what happened? I'm gonna check out your video, Pedro. Appreciate that. That's wild. I didn't know that happened. That is wild. Yeah, oh man, I'm sick about that. But yeah, man.
About the Achilles, it's like a death sentence for some athletes too.
Oh yeah, Achilles is like you don't come back from. You're better off trying to come back from an ACL than an Achilles sometimes. It's bad. Achilles is terrible. We saw it for Kobe. Kobe sat there and took it, but it was not the same, bro. He came back fully healthy, but once you tear your Achilles, it's just different. I like, man, the Kobe. Just trying to get third place in the street breakdancing competition. Hey, if that's true, I gotta fight him. I gotta fight him. That's either Smokes being hilarious, or if that's true, Emmanuel Hall got to see me. I'm sorry.
Pedro said it was training.
Trying to get third place in the street. Why is he aspiring for third? Now that's so annoying. But yeah, man, Atlanta is a great place. I mean, it's growing. Honestly, to me, because you know, I'm very picky with my cities. I love LA. But my favorite city is New York, as far as like me being entertained, especially free-wise, entertainment opportunities, stuff like that. I would say even though Houston and Chicago are bigger, I feel like Atlanta's third as far as like growing cities, things to do, especially with rappers, lingo, culture, music, all of that type of stuff. Black business, we're Black business capital of America. It's just different things like that. So I love Atlanta. I wouldn't encourage y'all to come here though, because the traffic is already bad enough and it gets significant. Every year.
We don't need more people. We definitely don't.
I'm not sure how other cities work, but literally a commute to a consistent place, say if it takes 20 minutes this year, 3 years from now is going to take 25. 3 years from then is going to take 30. Like it's like a significant jump that you can track in like traffic and how long it takes to get to certain places. That's how much Atlanta is growing. And then 285 is the deadliest highway in America because Atlanta doesn't care about speed laws. It's literally Overville and Union City, and then of course like downtown Atlanta. But other than that, you can fly 90 on 55 if you want to. So like it's more people's just only gonna make that worse.
Also, Georgia 400 is a pretty bad highway too. Georgia 400. You do not want to be in there if you don't have to.
Is that the one with like 8 lanes going one way?
Oh yeah.
That bro.
I hate that. If I have to take the back roads, I'll take the back roads. I remember my first time getting the highway. I saw 3 cars almost get in an accident. My first ever time being on the highway.
Bro, it's terrible, bro. Atlanta traffic is horrible. So I would say Atlanta is a great place. And it's cool for more people to come here, especially if you're gonna promote Black business. But the traffic is literally, like I said, I can literally track this year. It takes me this long to get to this place. 3 years from now, it's going to take me longer to get to that same place commute-wise. It's like a significant difference and a significant jump every couple of years. It's crazy.
I say the negatives with Atlanta is that since it is growing, the price is rising everywhere. Just like with housing, with food, with everything.
But it's starting to everything's going up.
Yeah, like just getting a place right now is almost New York prices. It's like right now I'm trying to find a next apartment to get, and prices are ridiculous.
Bro, when Hurricane Katrina happened, you could have bought apartment complexes for what you try to get rent for now.
Yeah, exactly. I did make a point that my sister had an apartment in Buckhead for $500, 2-bedroom.
You can't even get that over here.
Now today, apartment in Buckhead is like 2-bedroom for $2,500.
Exactly. That is wild. That is like wild. Like bro. With it like you said, with it growing, the traffic's getting worse. Things are becoming are gaining higher prices and stuff. It's weird. It's weird. I mean, look at Atlanta's growing. I complain about Atlanta all the time, but that's only because I compare every city to New York because New York's my favorite city. But honestly, when I sit back and look at it, I would say Atlanta's probably the third most active city to just be in. It's literally New York, LA, and then Atlanta. As far, especially like music and stuff like that, and things to do, I would say Atlanta's definitely third. Honestly,
Yeah, I say I've been pretty lucky in my life to live in Boston, New York, and Atlanta. So I haven't really experienced living in I say a smaller town. I mean, I lived in suburban areas, but I was still like in terms of the cities, I was near. I was still like by the biggest cities in the world. So I kind of am picky with Atlanta too. I do like New York better, but I only really like New York better sometimes. I can't live in New York. I don't know if I can live in New York for a long period of time anymore, unless I have a job to
boy,
do.
I can't.
But Atlanta, I think I've been here most of my life. I've been in Atlanta, so it's kind of like it's more that I'm a person. I need to see different things. I can't stay in one spot for too long. So I'm more tired of Atlanta just for that more than for everything. It is a great city though, but I am tired of the traffic. Because for a person that has to get up for, I say, a 9 to 5 job, when be pre-COVID, that traffic was annoying. What would take me normally 20 minutes would be 50 minutes every day.
Terrible, right? Terrible. But one thing Atlanta has, like I said, the speed limits are very loose because we don't have a lot of police everywhere. We definitely like Maryland has speed. Maryland has like speed trackers, like robots that track your speed. In Atlanta, if you don't see police, you're good. Like nobody's tracking your speed. Maryland has like a robot that tracks your speed. If you're going over the speed limit, it'll take a picture of your license plate and mail you your ticket.
I could never drive there. What?
Atlanta does not care about speed laws like that much at all. There's certain sections, Douglasville, pretty much the whole Cobb County vaguely, and then Union City mostly. But like a lot of other places, you can drive 90 or 45. Yeah. You can't do that in Maryland.
I was talking right there with Cobb County. Cobb County is horrible with the police.
You're terrible. I'm saying Cobb County and Union City are terrible.
They'll stop you for not even having speeding ticket. They'll just give you a ticket just because it's not like downtown where they're going to have so much crime. A lot of officers are bored, so they'll just pick on you. But it's like, what's the pay scale down there? Oh yeah, that's also another negative. With gentrification, with the price is rising, the pay scale is still the same, and I think that's a big problem. Minimum wage is still $7.25. Which is absolutely ridiculous, and I don't know why that doesn't get talked about more with Georgia.
Like 15 or something like that.
It should be, but I guess they're factoring in that it's really only Atlanta and metro parts of Atlanta that's industrializing. We still have very rural cities outside that you don't really need a pay raise for. But if you live in Atlanta, you should not be having jobs that pay $9, $10 an hour, which some jobs do. There are some jobs still pay $7.25, and that's still the problem. I don't know how much random person at Lowe's make, but I still know there's some jobs that pay $10 or lower, and that's been a big problem with Georgia.
Yeah. Oh, and Mountain Graphics, does the membership payment come out the day I sign up, then monthly? I'm not exactly sure. I might need to buy my own membership because I should have tested that out. I'm not exactly sure. I think it's at a certain point in the month, though. I'm gonna try to find that out. I'm gonna Google it for you. But I do not have the answer right now. I do not. Honestly, I don't know. But I appreciate that, Mountain Genetics. I definitely appreciate it. That's a great question.
I say so.
My mom said I need to hurry up and get. Yeah, I don't want my kids to have like a New York accent and a New York personality. I definitely prefer for them to have an Atlanta personality if I can. So I'll try mine. I do not want my kids to go, yo, son. Like I don't. I want them to talk more like me and like us.
Sean.
And then red light camera. Yeah, Seyi, bro, like Smoke Jam is saying, bro, there's literally like robots that track your speed and will take a picture of your license plate and then send you the ticket.
I mean, we have some red light cameras and speed traps, but it's not like everywhere. It's just like they'll tell you where, and you know where. So you know what place not to run like the red light or try to beat the yellow light. You know what places, what streets not to do that.
Anywhere in my day, like my monthly commutes, like as far as shopping, Walmart for groceries, all of that, I don't pass a single speed camera or a red light camera. I can literally just go 90 from here to Walmart. I just literally if I wanted to. Like It's barely any police around. That's just like where I'm at.
Well, I guess that's where you're at because I can't do that in Cobb County.
Oh no, that's dead. No, like you said, Cobb County and Union City are like terrible. They are really strict. They do not play. They do not play.
Yeah, because some of the cops there are a little bit prejudiced.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah. I mean, but other than that, like I remember driving in Maryland. I'll never do it again. Their speed limits are different. Like, what would be a speed limit here for 55, and Maryland was like a 35. Like 2-lane roads going each way, 35 mile per hour. I was sick. I was like, I'm never driving here again. This is terrible. I'm never driving in Maryland again.
I never got a car. Good thing I never got a car when I went to the DMV that one time.
Bro, I'm never doing it again.
Yeah.
I was asking if anybody was a member. Ma, did they already take your payment out for the membership, or do they just wait and then they're just gonna do it at a certain time? And what you about to say, Shane?
I was about to say I have been to the DMV before, but I only been there once. I actually do have family in Maryland, and I say, do they live in PG County? They probably do live in PG County. I gotta ask them again, or they live by
like the slightly smaller Atlanta, where it's like
they said
black business and rich black people and stuff.
They said they live close to where county. It probably is PG County, but yeah, I haven't seen them in a while. But I went to the DMV to visit. At first, I went to Washington, D.C. This is when I went to New York for a 2-week vacation. So I used the second week just to travel to random places via Megabus. I went to D.C. to go see the museums. I didn't know all the museums in D.C. were free, so that was a great experience. I tried to go to the African American Museum, but that's when it was new, and that's when it was waitlisted, so I couldn't go in. But I went to the Air and Space Museum. That was pretty cool. My favorite part was the African Art Museum. Now, that was great. I had it in one of the other podcasts before. Like, I don't know if everybody remember that necklace I had on. Probably don't. That was a necklace I got from D.C. And I also went to Baltimore as well to walk around.
Like that. All government things like museums and the zoo and stuff are all free. New York, some of them are free. I would say like half and half. Or they'll have like a free day. But literally everything like that is free in DC. It's so beautiful. The museums, the zoo, everything are just free. It's great.
Yeah, it's great. Oh yeah, I'll take some of y'all suggestions so I can go there. I'm definitely going to go to the DMV again. That's not a question. I still got family over there, and I'm just going to go there to explore because it was cool. But I made a DMV appointment today.
Everywhere in Atlanta, as far as museums and zoo go, the zoo is like Six Flag prices. It's terrible.
Yeah, and I made. Wait, so the African American Museum is still waitlisted? I went there like a few years ago, so still waitlisted?
Yeah, I caught it before it opened. I was with my grandparents on that side, and they had like a special invite, so I got lucky.
Yeah, I really wanted to go see it, but yeah, it was like 3 months. I was like 3 months behind, so it's like, yeah, there was no chance I could go there.
I caught it like while it still wasn't exactly done yet. Like there was still some parts that like had construction in it and stuff, like tools sitting around and scaffoldings inside and stuff. But I got to see most of it. It was really dope. I do want to go back and see it when it's finished though, for real.
Yeah, I definitely want to go back. Hey, we want to make that trip? I'll join.
I haven't been to DC in a while, but I haven't been to Maryland. I've been to Maryland more recently because I still have family that live there. But I haven't been to DC specifically.
When you go
the marriage, like, and that was like 2-3 years ago, I think. Yeah, and even then I wasn't there long. I went for like a day, literally a day.
When you visit New York, all you gotta do is just take a megabus down. That's what I did. I literally just took a megabus to visit DC, Baltimore, went back to New York, then went to Boston to see my family. And
what is there to do in Baltimore? Where'd you go to Baltimore for?
I just wanted to see Baltimore. I just really wanted to see.
Well, no curfew.
Yeah, I just really wanted to see Baltimore. And my sister was worried because this was like after this Baltimore had some it was another police protest, but this was like years ago because for like some other police brutality act. And I came there like literally right after that was finished. Like right after their protest.
We don't have a name attached, just another person. But yeah, go ahead.
No, but I'm just saying, I was just walking around Baltimore. There was the African American Museum there, but I came there after it closed. So I was literally just walking around. I went to the pier, got some Chick-fil-A, and missed my bus back to New York. So I stayed in Baltimore till like 4 a.m. and then I took the bus there to New York. But yeah, it was all fun. It was all fun just exploring. That's what I like to do.
I love exploring too. New York's my favorite place to do it at, but I've already seen most of it, so it's not the same. So I just got to travel to more places.
Yeah, the Baltimore Harbor. I think that's where I went to. Yeah, I definitely went to the Baltimore Harbor. That's where I went to. Yeah, that's where I went to the Harbor.
Yeah. That's really dope that everything is free in DC because Atlanta's the complete opposite. They tax you. Like I said, the zoo is like trying to go to Six Flags. It's like a lot of money. And then Atlanta is also taxing in random ways. Like you have to pay to recycle. And then like I think you have to pay to do. I'm not sure exactly how the trash works, but in New York, trash is free, of course. Like all you do, and you don't even need like a trash bin. You just throw it on the sidewalk. They come get it, like furniture, anything.
Hey, I thought in New York they'll fine you if you don't recycle.
Huh?
I thought in New York they'll fine you if you don't recycle. Like you have to recycle.
They'll pay you if you don't recycle. I mean, they pay you for recycling.
I thought they'll fine you if you don't recycle.
No, I know they paid us for recycling. I never knew about getting fined. I never got fined for not recycling.
It could be.
Yeah, I got paid. Literally, because that's why like a lot of I don't know which specific Asian group it is. I think it's Chinese, but a lot of them go around in trash cans and get bottles and recyclables and just recycle them. You get paid. There's like machines stationed everywhere where you can put it all in, and then you get paid to recycle there. But here we have to pay to recycle. We have to literally pay a company to come get our recycling.
I don't know. Maybe it's just probably because New York is just really dirty, so it's just like just gives you an incentive to recycle.
It's like, bro, please clean this up, please.
At this point, the way Atlanta's becoming is getting dirty as well. Also, thanks to the Super Bowl, I think we need to start doing that same thing.
Oh, we pay for trash and recycling. That is bad.
Do you know how dirty Atlanta became after the Super Bowl? Like
it's definitely a little bit different.
Yeah, I literally seen trash
in New York. I'm in the woods, but you know what I'm saying.
Now I was in downtown when the Super Bowl was happening. I wasn't like inside the stadium, but I was just like watching it at a bar. But yeah, it was like Times Square of how many people that were just like outside, just lounging around. But after they left, this city was so dirty, like just on the floor.
It's like people coming from other places disrespecting our city. That's probably a lot of it.
Yeah. So at this point, they might need to adopt what New York has.
Please give us money for recycling instead of us paying to recycle. That's so backwards.
But yes, Miss Arbor, you do have to pay for trash recycling because that's also included in my rent too.
That is sad. I hate that. But cool. Other than that, Atlanta's dope. He said, "Be right back. I gotta log in to PayPal. Y'all be on for a bit." Yeah, I think we're gonna go to like 10. I would say 10:20. 10:20 is like a good point. 10:20 is like a good point. We have some other stuff to talk about. Like
we need to get
the NFL season. It has been said 100% happening. I forgot who said it. I don't know if it was Roger Goodell or something. I wish I remembered. But like they said, like we're like training camp is going to happen. It may be a little delayed, but they're going to have a training camp. I don't know how this is going to work with Corona, but they're saying we're going to have an NFL season. Like we're going to be chilling. And I mean, luckily for football, they have the MLB season who's up first, then the NBA season. They'll be able to look at what both of those organizations did right, what they did wrong, take from that and then implement it into what they do as far as like testing. What if somebody tests positive? What do we do immediately? Things like that. How are the stands going to work? I heard something like football is even considering an option where the first 8 rows closest to the field will be empty. And then they'll start allowing fans to sit down and stuff like that. So that's really interesting too.
Hey, anything I guess the NFL can do just to make money to have the season started, they'll try. Because the NFL, I think that's the one sport that really needs their fans. Because it's not like they're like the NBA where where they actually had at least the season where they could have fans and seats. NFL could go the whole season without fans. So that could be a huge problem. MLB, I mean, let's be honest, they don't really get too many fans that come to games that many times unless it's a huge rivalry like the Red Sox or Yankees. A lot of fans like to watch the game on TV. You
Every
really
time I go to a baseball game, it's more so us having a conversation with my family or friends and eating and chilling on our phones, and then there just happens to be a live baseball game in front of us, but it's not the main of attention of a lot of people there, especially us. Like, it's not our main attention. It's basically like we're just hanging out outside, and it's just professional baseball players just happening to be playing a game in front of us.
Yeah, and that's what it is. You go there for that experience and hopefully to catch a baseball off a home run. And Truist Park, where the Atlanta Braves play, they kind of made it that way. They you have a park like right outside of the ballpark, like a literally giant park with a giant TV screen that shows the game. So you don't even have to get a ticket to go to Truist Park. You just watch the game from the park. If you want to actually go inside the ballpark, you got to pay. But you can literally watch the game from like the park and not pay anything. It's so MLB. They're not really losing as much as other sports, and they finally just got accepted to play because the players and the owners have been in a real battle, real feud just to get the season started, to accept a pay rate to get the season started. But yeah, I sit in my seat when I go to baseball games, but I'm like usually on my phone, or I go there to enjoy the experience. But
like he buy a ticket for a seat and then he just move up closer because there's nobody else there. Because that's how it is in baseball games. I've sat in my seat this one time when I went with my dad's side because it was like in Miami and it was fairly crowded, but it was only crowded though, really, because it was a lot of field trips. It was a whole lot of like groups of kids. It was weird. It was terrible. But yeah, other than that, usually when I go to like a random football game that isn't NFL or baseball, we end up just moving closer and closer to the front as we can get, just because the seats are empty. It's like you might as well sit in it until somebody tells you can't.
So for Rich, Rich says he's a baseball guy, can't relate. So since you are a baseball guy, would you rather go to a game to watch, or would you watch from your TV? Because I had a friend who's a baseball guy as well. He says he rather watch from his TV so he can analyze the game more. He says like baseball fans don't go to the games, and they want to enjoy the actual game and not the experience.
I prefer to stay home, watch the game from the super superior angle that we get from watching it on TV, be able to eat the food I want to eat, not $5 hot dogs, not $3 pizzas, not $5 Sprites. I can eat my mac and cheese, fried chicken, chilling, watching other games at the same time in the comfort of my home instead of being people yelling in my ear. So yeah, I prefer watch football at home. It's not even close.
So Rich says he goes to the baseball games. And yeah, Smoke says some random person always start talking to me at a baseball game and don't even look friendly. That's true. Like I always have some random person talk to me too at a baseball game.
That's sport, I guess. I don't know.
Soccer, baseball, and soccer always have random. Well, soccer is super interactive with their game, so it's like they force you to interact with all the chants. You got like you'll grab somebody and start like doing a chant or like singing.
Yeah, soccer is the most crowd. Like the most camaraderie in a crowd that you can get for a sport. Soccer definitely is.
I say soccer is like the most fun sport to go watch a game. But I guess that also depends if you like soccer or not. If you like soccer, I don't care. But
soccer is definitely the most involved. I mean, they have certain chants they do for certain things, and the passion with the different countries, especially. Yeah, it's a little bit different.
Yeah. But for me, I say for football, I do like sitting if I want to actually analyze the game, I'll sit at home. I say for basketball as well. Because for basketball, I guess for all sports in general, like for me, if you go to the game, I feel like it's more for the experience. Because with all the noise going on, sometimes it's like not always about the game that's on the floor. You just see everything going on, the halftime shows, food, people getting rowdy. And like when you're watching from at home, one, it's free, and two, you get to enjoy it in privacy. You could be in a quiet area, it could be in a louder space, but you can analyze the game more.
Smokes, I gotta know what decision you made. I just gotta know who you picked. For me personally, I would have just been like, nah, we good. I can't even do that. I definitely wouldn't be able to do that to my cousin because at the end of the day, hey man, I don't know how long that other person gonna stick around. My cousin's been there for so personally, I would say if it was Lyric, I'm just going, hey man, I'm gonna have to catch you later. The other person, it's gonna have to be me and my cousin. We all ended up what she wanted to go to, but I was too soft to leave my. Oh yeah, I couldn't have left my cousin, man. I couldn't have left my cousin. I couldn't have done. I could not have done it.
I can't do that either. Yeah.
You say I can custom. Oh no, you can't. No, there's like you have exclusive emojis, but you don't get to like make your own emoji. But if you want to, I think you can post gifts in here like yourself. But yeah, there's like exclusive emojis that I made that you can use. I mean, not emojis, gifts that you can use that I made. You mad? I'm back. She mad. She dang, don't care. Stay mad. Wait, what just happened? All right, y'all. So we go ahead and dip up out of here. Supposed to end at 10, then it was supposed to end at 10:20, but we've been having fun, so I've been chilling. I appreciate everybody that came again every Friday, 8 to 10 p.m. 10 very loosely, clearly. Every Friday, 8 to 10 p.m. live podcast, interacting with the chat, talking about everything, not just football, not just Redskins, everything. So make sure y'all definitely pull back up for that. It's your boy Rico from the Street Scores. My boy, wait, is it to the left, right? Seyi. My boy Seyi, yes sir, yes sir. Anything you want to say before we dip out of here?
Well, to Miss Harper, I guess I'm not a big crowds person anymore either, because with everything going on, I don't want to be a big crowds person. So yeah,
I never. If y'all want to know my personality, watch that show Bones, that girl detective. That's literally me. So I don't understand the part of being around a crowd, emotions and stuff. Like I'm literally that. So if you want to get Rico is Bones.
I love being around big crowds if I'm an obnoxious Patriots fan and everybody hates them. That's when I love being in big crowds.
I like New York crowds. I don't like concerts in stadiums and stuff, like the camaraderie thing. I don't care about that. I like big crowds because there's a lot going on, like New York, and it's always busy, and I can always get this from here, this from that. Somebody selling whatever I need, that type of crowd. I don't like the, around me, we're all in this together crowd. That's not me.
Yeah, me and Rico are the same in that. We both love the chaos.
Yeah, I love that. New York chaos. I love New York chaos. Yeah, if you want to know, be safe. Bones from whatever that show was, The Detective or whatever, it was perfect. The few episodes I've seen from my mom doing my hair, and I watch whatever she's watching while she's retwisting my locks, that is perfect. He said, did you just compare yourself to a female detective? What happened? I'm saying personality-wise. If you want a good feel for how I feel about certain things and my viewpoint, just watch Bones. It's literally how I feel about most stuff, especially like as emotions go and stuff like that.
We're gender neutral over here. We're gender neutral.
But all right, y'all, man. I appreciate everybody that pulled up again Friday, 8 to 10 p.m. every Friday evening. And I'll see y'all Sunday with the new setup. My new setup is about to be crazy. Y'all will see, man. Y'all will see. The setup is wild. So tune in Sunday also, 2 to 4 p.m. And oh yeah, my boy Kobe. He didn't last on the wall the whole time, but I expect that.
Rest in peace. Rest in peace to one of the best players of all time. So next time when you see this, it's going to be plastered into my wall, and it's not going to fall this time. I promise you. I'll get it right.
Make sure y'all go get y'all Street Scores merch too. That's in the description of the video. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, y'all. Y'all love both straight logic, no emotion. Come give me a hug. Oh, Lord. All right, y'all. Take care. Catch y'all next Friday, 8 to 10 p.m.